Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised.
This episode goes out to the sickos.
Hell yeah, shout out to you.
This episode is brought to you by the following MTGO room description. Bracket 6-7. No fun, no lands, no spells, and no drawing, no eye contact. That's how I love my Magic the Gathering games. No eye contact. Were you recently slighted in a game of Commander?
Do you want revenge against an opponent?
Do you want to be petty?
Then call us.
Eclipse.
And Eclipse.
Attorneys at law. We could be there at your Commander table anytime, anywhere. Real life events pending.
If you want us to target your dastardly opponent with all of our removal and combat damage, say no more.
We'll use our fancy Altar 2-mana Doomblade variants and this demonic junker we found out back.
I'll threaten your opponent with commander damage using Genji Glove.
Contact us at E&EAAL@gmail.com or at 1-800-ARE-YOU-FLAPPIN'.
We are not attorneys at law. Please note this is a joke and we will not be your agents of vengeance. Please talk to your fellow Magic players like adults.
Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
It is officially the new year.
It sure fucking is. Oh, I didn't put any video games in here, and you know I've been playing them.
Oh, yeah, I was like, no. You've been so busy getting everything else ready on this document. But yeah, so hey, folks, what's good? What's new? What's happening? What are we up to? We are gonna have Steel City Steph come in for next episode. That's what we're gonna be doing. When I'm looking out for guests or trying to invite people on, and we still got obviously a lot of new and returning guests that want to be coming on. We've had to shuffle the schedule around. I reached out to Steph and I'm like, hey, by the way, you're not beholden to come on as a couple with Brad. Brad is allowed to come on at a different time. Excuse me. And Steph's like, oh yeah, don't worry. I can come on my own, no problem. And I'm like, good, because I know you are a certified yapper. So you come on and we can yap for hours.
Yeah, we'll have a great time.
So that'll be an episode that's coming out around the end of the month. I'm still waiting for you to paste your game shit, so I'm just gonna keep going here.
Oh, right. Yeah, I wasn't actually.
Yeah, you're like, cool. That would be a good idea to do that. I'm like, no, okay. So while you're getting that together, so hey, I've been all those video games that I've talked about like the last couple weeks, like Outer Worlds 2 and Bounty Star. Fuck all that. I've been replaying Golden Sun: The Lost Age on my Game Boy SP, and it's been a fucking blast. Holy shit. I forgot how good.
Yeah, dude.
So for anyone who doesn't know, but maybe for the people who do, Golden Sun, good old para games and a DS game, I guess, on Nintendo handheld consoles back in the day. And Golden Sun 1, oh fuck, I told you the subtitle and you were like, wait, there's a fucking subtitle, and it's like the seal.
Yeah, it's the Broken Seal.
The Broken Seal, which like that is not what's on the cartridge for English copies, but that is the subtitle.
Yeah, apparently that's the subtitle in
for the
like
first one.
Where?
Yeah, in Japan probably. And then the second game is The Lost Age, and it was originally meant to be one whole game on one cartridge.
What an ambitious project, bruh.
It's already like when you play so let me tell you how this all worked. So I originally played The Lost Age first on emulator back like when I was a young lad forever and an age ago, and really dug it. Even tried like modding it a bit because there's like there were modding tools out even in like the early like 2010s. Like people were like, oh yeah, I want to like edit all this cool stuff, or like, oh wow, that's super sick. Very quickly aborted all that because I did not know how that shit worked. And then later, I managed to get a copy of the first Golden Sun at some like mom and pop used video game store. I was like, oh, hey, it's fucking Golden Sun 1. Let's get some context for who the fuck this second team of magic elemental spellcasters are. Which, you know, hey, the world had alchemy sealed, and there's these people who can cast magic spells called adepts, and they use basically psychic powers called synergy or psi-energy, and they're of one of the 4 elements in classic RPG fashion of earth, water, wind, and fire, and then you go out and save the world, but there's a lot of twists and turns along the way. And the first game, so I got the first copy. I was like, oh, now I have the context. And then I'm like, actually, wait a minute. This game's kind of sick with it. Why didn't I play the first game as you usually do back in the day when you had no context for anything? Like, I'm going to go play Mega Man 02. And you're like, wow, this game is sick. Play 01. Wait, what happened? This game isn't as good as the second one. What happened? So anyway, scale and scope of 1 versus 2 is crazy because of how much they open the map in 2. And when you learn about like the development history of like they originally wanted to put both games on 1, but there wasn't enough time, along with like the memory issues for the Game Boy Advance cartridges. And they had the idea to put it on the N64, but then the Advance was announced. They're like, yeah, we'll put it on the Game Boy Advance. And what a fucking game changer. Like, there is no JRPG that managed to do it quite like Camelot Soft or Camelot Developer or whatever. Like, they just fucking nailed it. It has... The story is actually still really good going back through it. Like, I'm at the end game. I'm already at the end game because the used copy of Golden Sun The Lost Age that I bought had saves from the prior owner. And they had a complete file where they managed to get characters to level 99. And
wow.
When you start the game over with a save file like that, you can actually enter easy mode. So your characters are leveled up to a particular level that's not 99. And that was the thing that was confusing to me, because I think the main crew that you start off in Lost Age start at like level 40 or 39 in this case. I don't know why. And then when I had the Golden Sun 1 team join, they were level 99 with a bunch of like crazy shit. I'm like, wait a minute, this password was not what I entered from my save. Why are these guys level 99? That's fucking batshit insane. Regardless, when you are breezing through a JRPG on easy mode, it is very much an Empress Quinn video game tourism mode, which is totally fine. Because it allowed me to appreciate everything else when I'm not like bogged down by combat, where I'm like, oh great, we just died like 3 times because I'm coming in underleveled. Again, the story for what it was at the time is actually kind of insane. You still have a bit of characterization, despite the fact that like there's no voice acting. They got that little like
the Animal Crossing BBDs.
Yeah, but it's like pitched to like whatever the character's voice was going to be, either male or female or whatever. And yeah, it's like, oh hey, so there's like the main characters who are actually the villain like the hero antagonists of the first game that you're now playing as, and there's characters going around who want to get revenge for their siblings who died, and people are learning about the mystery of the world as you realize that maybe the world is not so black and white in terms of how sealing alchemy away from the world might actually be a bad thing. And the fate of the world is literally a coin flip, whether or not you keep alchemy sealed or you let it out into the world. And you're like, what? That's all on like one fucking cartridge? Could you imagine if both games were on one? It'd be bad shit. It'd be insane.
Hundreds of hours of gameplay.
And now at this point, I have reached the so there's no fast traveling until you get to near the very end of the game, and now it's opened up completely. You have the natural progression of you have to haul ass across several overworld continents on foot, and then you get the ship that allows you to go to other land masses, which is great. And then it gives you your ship wings so you can fly. And then they're like, okay, now you can teleport around the world. And it also teleports your ship with you to like the nearest body of water. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I don't even care about how long for the first part it took, because eventually once we got here, the rest is just fucking awesome. So yeah, I need you to get on that.
I do not remember that at all. And
I know I've been like
that game.
I mentioned this, like I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm doing this part again. And you're like, who, whomst, what? And I'm like, yeah, this and this and this. You're like, I have no memory of this fucking ever. So yeah,
like 20 years ago or some shit.
So I need you to like get on that shit again, because holy fuck, the summoner experience has never been so real.
Yeah, I forgot that actually you are like, you get to be a summoner in that game. Yeah.
So yeah, Lost Age is super cool. I'm now going after the post game areas, and going to be focusing on doing some level grinding. And
go throw hands with what's his name, the super boss Dolan, I think.
Yep. I just got through one of them, the Star Magician. That dude has some hacks bullshit, but we killed him just by like, you know, hitting him really hard with the Soul Blade.
Soul Blade, Megado.
It's like, sorry, I can't hear you over this blade letting out a howl, Mikito. And it's just like a giant world-ending fireball coming in your face. It's like, okay, phrasing.
So sick.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, what have you been up to?
I have been continuing my quest through the Final Fantasy series, playing Final Fantasy V. I picked that up a while ago on my PSP, and I guess the like save file got eaten or something, because I went to start it again and I simply did not have a save file there anymore, which made me fucking scream. So we took some steps to put the game on my 3DS and played it on a different medium, I guess. You know, they just like put a Game Boy Advance inside there.
What? What? Sorry, excuse me.
Inside a 3DS. They just like put that in there, which is why I can run those games, I guess.
So what you're telling me is you were playing a game and then there was another game in that game?
No, I mean the console, the 3DS itself. They just like put a Game Boy Advance in there, I guess, to make the backwards compatibility software-wise, so you can play Game Boy games on it.
Oh, the dual slot DS, you mean? Okay.
No, I mean the 3DS.
Sorry, feel like I'm losing the plot. Go over this
All right,
again.
Never mind. That doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, I'm playing Game Boy Advance games on my 3DS. I started Final Fantasy V again.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing through that. It's got the job system is extremely intricate, and I'm understanding why there are people who are so passionate about this game. They replay it on a yearly basis with experimentations on like different jobs and stuff. And there's even a like 4 jobs fiesta that they do where they get randomly assigned jobs and you just play those jobs through the entire game, which is that's dedication. You have to do some fucking creative move-in and shake-in to make all of those mechanics stretch to meet all of your needs for all of the portions of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, people who complete those challenge runs have my admiration. But I've been having a lot of fun with the end game abilities that you get to sort of like mix and match abilities that you've mastered from different jobs. And you can take things like the rapid fire ability from the archer class and smash that together with the dual wield ability from your ninja class. And
sick. You can do cross class fusion shit. All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, once you've mastered those once you get to a certain level with the job, you learn an ability associated with the job. The job, if you have that equipped, is like it has access to all of these abilities, but the like if you switch to a different job, you can use the abilities that you've learned from your previous job. So you're like out here with a white mage who you want to. My white mage actually kind of had roleplay Yuna from Final Fantasy X. In that
So it's a summoner and white mage.
Yeah, we gave her levels in summoner initially so that she could learn all of the summons that we had access to, and then switched her to white mage for the just like increased healing capabilities and keeping my party not dead. And similarly, I had a black mage who I gave levels in time magic so that they could cast haste and eventually learn the one of the most powerful spells in the game, quick, which lets you take 2 turns consecutively.
That's pretty cracked.
Yeah. So I would spend the like battles in the first couple of turns getting my black mage to use quick, and then cast haste on the rest of my team and cast like a meteor or something, or cast a flare and have that target like one guy, or I'm like spending 1 turn casting flare on 2 targets, which is like extremely powerful because it's a single target spell. So getting to just like double up on that feels really good. Taking extra turns, busted in no matter what game you play it in, actually.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all.
So yeah, time magic is sick. I have 2 physical fighters, or like damage dealers. There's a knight who I had take levels in archer so that he could get rapid fire. And I have him also, I think, either a spellblade or a knight, depending on the situation. If it's spellblade, he gets the ability spellblade, which like enchants the
weapon with the spell.
Whatever magic you have access to, yeah. So you can do like poison damage if you enchant it with the poison spell, or fire damage with the fire spell. And rapid fire is an ability that like cuts the power of an attack in half, but does it 4 times. The game is weird though, and if you're using something like Spellblade or a weapon that's powerful enough or has an effect that makes it use a different stat, then it just doesn't cut the damage and you just get to wail on them 4 times at full strength.
Yeah. Yep.
So we were taking advantage of that a little bit and having my knight just do like 4,000 damage over his turn with 4 attacks. That felt really good. And then my last physical attacker I had be a ninja, I think ultimately is where we landed, but we traveled over a bunch of different martial classes and also classes that use like finesse weapons. So I had a dancer, I had a monk, and I think like 1 other class that I'm not remembering. Yeah, we had her as a blue mage for a little bit. So it was just like experimenting with whatever we had there. But yeah, settled on ninja, and then the benefits from those previous classes made that a little bit less of a glass cannon.
Like it compounded onto the ninja, just giving all the extra bonuses it doesn't have naturally.
Yeah, exactly. It made that hit super fucking hard and very fucking fast. So that was really satisfying to explore all of that and come away with that conclusion. Ultimately, there's the hidden role mime. And once you've got that, you've got basically a blank slate character. You can pick, like, there's like no innate job abilities on that. They only have the ones from the jobs that you've mastered. So you can just put what the fuck ever and completely mix and match whatever you want. Make your own guys with that. That really rewards going through and mastering all of the classes so you can have a party do whatever you need them to. Once you get to that point, though, the sickest thing you can do is just have 1 person be a ninja or have access to the throw ability so that they can throw the big, powerful shuriken that kills things in 1 shot, usually.
Yep.
And have everybody else just fucking mimic that ability so that they can do that without spending any resources on it.
Oh, so like ninjas regularly have to spend like MP or whatever to use it?
Yeah, you have to go to a store in the hidden village. And that's the only place that sells these Fuma shuriken.
Oh,
and once you've got access to that, you can...
This is real Naruto-ass shit.
Yes. The village is actually so sick. It's like suspended in time in between the rift and the like the world where we are. So when your big bad evil guy smashes the two worlds together, the village drops out of the rift and is on the planet, and they're like, whoa, time has returned to our village, which means we aren't in the rift anymore. What the fuck is going on? And every store in that village has two merchants, and you have to do some fucking moving and shaking to find where all of them are, because they're hidden in a lot of places. So you have access to a lot of extremely powerful items and weaponry, and like two different merchants in every store. They sell some really powerful magic here. They sell the Fuma Shuriken here. And that's like your single-use projectile weapon that your ninja has access to with their throw capability. And in exchange for being expensive and single-use, they are doing a fuck ton of damage. So you fill your pockets with those. You have your party full of mimes. One of them knows the throw ability, obviously your fastest one, and you have them use that so that they can yeet a shuriken, and you have the rest of the party use mimic every turn after that, and they'll just copy the person who went before them, so you can use the throw with the Fuma Shuriken without expending resources.
That is pretty sick.
It's fucking hacks.
Now that
Makes
I'm thinking
a lot
about
of the
it,
battle's unfair.
I will point out, I will have to mention this. You can mix, because there's 120 different thousand fucking systems in Golden Sun. You can mix and match the elemental djinn that you collect on your adventure. And when you reach a certain amount, because every character can hold a maximum of 9 when you get to the end of the game, there's 72 total djinn when you do everything properly. Certain martial-based class characters can become ninjas, and they can also cast shuriken, and that shit literally shreds. It's fucking awesome.
I love that as an RPG convention. The
don't
ninja
need to
gets
purchase
throw
shit.
And it's very expensive.
Yep. So yeah, damn, that's pretty sick when they do allow you to go do broken fucking shit with their class system.
Yeah, I want to explore that in Golden Sun now. Apparently there's like items that you can equip that give you access to classes that are even outside of the ones that you have from just mixing and matching elemental djinn. In my playthroughs in that, I literally only ever had the matching elemental djinn because I am extremely normal and wanted them to be the element that they are. If you're a fire mage, then you get the fire djinn, obviously.
You are not allowed to you are not the avatar. Who the fuck do you think you are? Get out of here.
Yeah, we're not mixing and matching. We're not mastering all 4 elements here. No, apparently you can be a fucking lich lord or whatever, and I would like to roleplay that. Because they get called Dullahan as an
They
ability.
get called Dullahan at fucking level 49. Like, what the hell? Not only that, but because of the incredibly weird and mismatched djinn availability, like in the early part of the game, like you can't have Felix just be an Earth adept progression. Like he can't be a gallant, he can't be a whatever, because you're like stock full of Mars and Mercury and Jupiter djinn. So like either you disable them for summoning or you put them on him, and he's like,
I think I disabled them for summoning. I was that annoying about it.
You were like, you can't keep doing this to me. This is bullshit. It's supposed to be equal, and they are not equal, and therefore you are wrong, game.
I'm just like,
you're
gonna
wrong.
hold this djinn. I am going to turn it off though. You can summon it if you want in battle, but I just
no, but Felix needs to use Astral Blast, Quinn.
Fucking have no idea what spell that is because I've never seen it.
You are going to find out, trust me. You're like, no, I'm just going to use fucking Ragnarok because that's sick as hell, and it is sick.
I will be doing that, yes, but I'm also gonna explore mixing and matching with the class system some more because that's the way to have the most fun with the game. I found they put the system in there, fucking have fun with it.
Now you can go in with fresh eyes and be like, wait, I understand now.
Yeah, I was also just young and dumb, so probably did not understand all the things. Yeah, but
what if I just brute force my way through it by casting Odyssey and fucking whatever the fuck Jenna does? I don't fucking know. Just do all the spells.
Red mage bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Fume.
Like Flare Wall for a while.
Yeah. Flare Aura or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, I don't know because I haven't seen those spells because everyone is multiclassed.
Wild.
So yeah. Anything else to report on Final Fantasy V?
We are at the very end of the game. We're in the interdimensional rift, and we're heading up to the final boss. So expect the credits scene posted on the internet very soon. We'll have that done.
Probably this week.
Yeah, probably this week. That's another fucking
Later.
40-hour JRPG in the books.
Later today at 1 a.m., he'll be like, Hoon and Hollerin just finished 5. Wow, what a cool game.
Entirely possible, and I will post exactly like that.
All right, let me get this next little bit out of the way here.
Yeah.
So, went to go see a movie.
You sure did.
Yep. Girlfriend's like, we need to go see the new Avatar Ash and Fire movie, which I'm pretty sure that is what the sorry, hold on. Wait. Fire and Ash, excuse me. I got them flipped around.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that sure was a movie.
Yeah.
That was some tall blue aliens. That sure is a movie.
I only saw the first one of those, and since then I was like, you're still making these?
Yeah, turns out James Cameron's got an agenda in mind, and it took him, hold on, so it took him like over a decade plus, like, to get the technology for motion capture underwater to be where it needs to be for Avatar 2, The Way of Water. And then be like, they were like, oh wait, no, we can just like continue making these. So they probably got to have number 4 come out at some point if James Cameron, who I believe is in his 70s, doesn't like fucking bite the dust. He's 71. Oh, he's still got like another decade in him. Anyway, the reason I'm like, wow, that was the movie of all time, is that I feel as if we are literally retreading the same ground of the first 2 movies again and again and again. And, boy, these movies sure are pretty. And that new, blue alien chick is hot or whatever. But that's, yeah, can we wrap it up? You know, like you got other shit to like produce, right? Anyway,
I guess not, or he would make that.
I don't know. You know what? When you're like, you've been a Hollywood director like for most of your adult life, and you're like, I don't know, hopefully a lot of these actors and actresses and directors who are at their age, like 70 plus, like continue to make movies for as long as they want, because like, you know, look at like fucking Clint Eastwood. That man is like 90 whatever, and he's like still gonna be fucking Clint Eastwood and make a bunch of movies or whatever. You're like, yep, I do know about these people you are talking about.
Yeah, I definitely have heard that name before.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, so moving on from that, yeah, I don't know, go watch Avatar if you care.
Yeah.
Don't watch it in fucking 4D. Never again. Waste my goddamn money and freaking thrown around the theater like a fucking donkey. Like, holy shit. I watched Avatar 2 in 4D, and it has like fans and misting, and it has like flashing lights for like muzzle flares, and then the seats like throw you back and forth during the action scenes. Like whenever there's like flapping or whatever, and I'm like, this was the worst movie going experience I've ever had in my life.
You didn't want that 4th dimension?
No, it's bad. Don't even go for 3D. Just watch your regular, I don't know, go for the Dolby surround sound. I don't know, just get the regular showing and do nothing else. Anyway, the other things that I have been watching, I've been watching Fallout Season 2, the New Vegas one. And I've been watching The Mighty Nine, which is the animated version of the Critical Role Season 2 or Campaign 2 game that they had like a few years ago. Fallout Season 2, good, thumbs up, having a lot of fun with that. It is funny watching all the crazy shit that you would expect from the Fallout games, for better or worse, to be happening on the screen, and it's funny. I'm having a good time. I'm just having a blast. I don't even care. People are like, Todd Howard is ruining the lore. I don't care. It's fun.
That's
and then
what it's about, isn't it? We want to have fun watching TV.
But also I'm pointing at the screen being like, oh, I know what's going on here. I know what this is. I vaguely know who that is. I'm deeply enjoying all the characters and their arcs in this crazy, wacky game universe. And then the Mighty Nine, it's an adult animated show about like D&D, and that shit's fucking awesome. It's a blast. All the characters are good. Animation's great. All the characters are kind of reimagined from how they are in the show to like make more sense for a TV show, and it works super duper well, even though certain characters are like traditionally not where they were supposed to be. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's just being able to be like, hey, this was our game that we played for like 2+ years or however long it took, and have it be reimagined and taking all like the Lego puzzle pieces and then rearranging them to be much more coherent, being like, this is good for TV, because if we ran it as it was for TV, holy boy, it would be a fucking shit show. So they're doing their like for your viewing pleasure remix version, and it fucking rules. And yeah, I'm having a good time watching that. It's a blast.
Hell yeah.
Tell me about Kirby Super Star Ultra.
All right, so I remembered that I liked the part of that game that I had played so far and wanted to see the rest of it. So we picked that back up. We have it in a couple of places, actually. We've got it on DS as well as in the Super Nintendo. So yeah, played some of that through. There's like 5 or so mini games inside of that game, and you play through those in order to unlock the last game, Milky Way Wishes. And I got to that and then went to start that, and then my fucking DS froze, and then the flashcard would not load anymore after we restarted that. So I was tilted. Luckily we went to bed and then woke up the next day and were able to try that, and it worked then, so we could continue playing there. But we also just fucking picked it up on the SNES, and that the beginning of Kirby games is easy so that you can unlock the real game inside of the game, and we just blew through the beginning of that very easily, and unlocked that on the Super Nintendo version. So we did all that. Might as well do it in both places.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do it once and you got a good night's sleep to kind of collect yourself again, then you can do it again.
Yeah. So I'm playing through Milky Way Wishes in Kirby Superstar and Kirby Superstar Ultra. We finished that and unlocked on the Super Nintendo version, you get just the boss rush, the arena. But on the DS version, you unlock like 3 different mini games, and then there's like 2 other hidden ones underneath that. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, what do you mean there's more Kirby game in this game?
So, hey, fuck, what's his name? The director.
Sakurai.
Yeah, fucking, hey, Sakurai, can you fucking chill the fuck out, dude? And he's like,
absolutely not. He would put it all on the line for his favorite Perfect Son Kirby.
Well, I mean, yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like he really, that is a game dev, like a Japanese game dev that you've seen fucking go fucking through it. They're like, Sakurai, make Smash Bros. Ultimate, and he's like, okay, and then he's like, so you want everyone, right? And they're like, hey, what? And then they're like, everyone is here, and he's like, never fucking ask me for anything ever again. I'm gonna go back and make Kirby, thanks.
That was the most bananas shit I've ever seen anyone do. The fact that they gave us everyone in Smash Ultimate was unbelievable. And then on top of that, some DLC guys you never fucking thought you'd see. Incredible.
Fucking all right. You guys have been you guys have been bugging me for fucking Minecraft Steve. fuck you, here's Minecraft Steve. We're like, oh, it's fucking Steve. Yeah, there he
And
is.
then the
And he's
last
like,
dude being fucking Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Literally everybody's crying, bro. We never thought this shit was possible.
wait, so you're telling me you sat down with some fucking Disney devs because, as it turns out, fucking Kingdom Hearts is actually mostly owned by fucking Disney, the fucking evil mouse corporation themselves. And he sat there and was like, Smash Bros. And the fucking Disney people were like, holy shit. Wait, what? And then
They were probably like, holy shit, Sakurai's asking us if we want to be in Smash Bros. Say yes, say yes.
if someone was like, hey, peasant, go get me coffee. And their assistant was like, holy shit, is that fucking Sakurai? And they're like, who? And they're like, I don't know what's going on here. Fucking sign those papers and hand it over. And they were like, sure, yeah, I have no fucking idea what we got here. Fucking gold mine. Are you fucking kidding me?
So funny.
Sometimes
It's also very funny to realize that Smash Bros. Is basically Kirby when you like get into
when you look back,
when you peel under the hood and you realize that all of these are just the same type of moves that you play in Smash Bros.
Yeah,
yeah. What? This has been a Kirby game the whole time?
The whole fucking time. What was there was this clip I came across from Maximilian Dude. And I probably maybe shared or showed you some of this dude's stuff. He fucking kills me because he's like, there was I think it was either like the Game Awards or like some Nintendo Direct thing that he was watching on his stream, and he's like, I saw this thing where a fucking hamster fucking got announced, and people were like, holy shit, the hamster is back, and then he jokes, he's like, so what? Next thing you know, there's gonna be a fucking rock, and you guys are gonna lose your minds. And then like a minute later, fucking the rock character got announced as like a playable thing on the new Kirby game, like the Kirby racing game or whatever the fuck it is. And he's like, I was fucking kidding. What the fuck is going on here? And they're like, do not invoke Kirby so casually, you fucking peasant. Like, who do you think you are?
Fucking rules.
So yeah, like, fucking Sakurai is batshit insane, and video games are good.
Video games are so fucking good, dude. Holy shit.
Let's pivot and talk about Magic.
All right, yeah, let's lock in.
I got a vibe check here.
Okay, good, because I don't.
Oh, okay. So that new set, what's it called? Lorwyn Eclipse is out. It's going to be out. Pre-release weekend is going to be this week. Release is next weekend. So hey, woohoo. If you are into typal stuff, good for you. I really am not sure what to think about this set just yet. I have not dived too deeply into it. The handful of things that I've seen, I'm like, yeah, that seems like pretty okay. But other than that,
this is where you post that meme where I'm like talking about you. The ECL's bullshit. There's not even any portrait cards.
Yeah. Fuck, that was so funny. Kicks open door, fucking random kin care, whatever the fuck that soldier is. Not what I'm talking about. Let's talk about vibe checks. Let's not get into that.
All right, yeah, lock in.
So, this is one that I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to be making it as a commander, but I do definitely think it passes the vibe check for a few particular reasons. So let's go over the stats. We got one of the Strixhaven students currently going on a field trip. Abigail Eloquent First Year. It's double hybrid Orzhov for a 1/1 bird bard. It's got flying, first strike, and lifelink. And when Abigail enters, up to one other target creature loses all abilities, put a flying counter, a first strike counter, and a lifelink counter on that creature. So, I have a couple thoughts, but the most particular first thing is, yes, this Abigail passes, I think, becoming a 4/3 flying first strike lifelink at any point of the game is pretty good because of Abigail's ATB ability. You don't even care about playing her, them, I don't know.
She's a she.
She's okay. You don't play her on curve. You can play Hero's Blade on turn 2 because I think there's two utilities of that ETB ability. The first one is just shutting off someone's random Scrimblow creature that they were going to be using, and then just have them lose all abilities and just be...
He says random Scrimblow creature. He means commander. This is going to be an ETB blink deck that is constantly removing your commander. So jot that the fuck down.
However, Zoo Effete... Make your no ability 13/13 and give it first strike, lifelink, and flying, and now you're like, I don't care that I have a 13/13. I don't know why that necessarily matters, because the minute you take Zoo Effete out of the command zone, there's like almost no point to like the concept. But I don't know. Like I just think that
there's
like
maybe something there. There's probably the deck of like Clackbridge Trolls or whatever, and you can't really effectively cheat their like ETB downside with this ability, but there's moves that you can make, I think, here with things that have root attack triggers or things like that, or end step triggers that are just big that you don't want those triggers to happen. You just make them lose their abilities.
Yeah. So obviously I am afraid to see the people who are out there headhunting people's commanders. I would like to see it be used more like in an interesting way of targeting your own things, but obviously can't trust commander players for shit, so
but
it doesn't really matter.
People are the worst.
So yeah, got not much to say about that. I would I don't know. I think there's only 21. Is it 21 or 26 legends this set or something?
I think 21.
Yeah. The Legendary Creature podcast is doing their legendary review, and we were like, how many are there? Only 21? That's pretty good. What was the one legend that Medusa's like really hung up on, that 5-color elemental one?
Massive Mysteries, I think.
Yeah, she's pretty excited about that one. I can say, hey, that thing is trample, so that one probably also passed the check, but it's also 5-color slop, and you know what my attitude is on that.
I mean, it has really good combat keywords is the thing. It's got first strike, vigilance.
Oh yeah,
trample,
like you were
so
getting it. You're getting in there.
Probably want to give that guy the blade. I think it'll just fucking get in there, bonk people. You'll have a good time.
Yeah,
that deck wants to be doing combat anyway.
Imaginary Fiend gave us a vibe check last week during the start of previews. The Reaper King No More, one of the two face legends for the Jund Precon, which in the back of my mind I think is catching up on the number of Jeskai Precons that we got out there. So fucking watch out for that shit. Imaginary Fiend goes on to say, passes the check. We're also giving him the Blight Sickle and Reaper Scythe for maximum flavor. He may have lost a few colors, but it's still harvest time.
So true, Umphy.
So the Reaper King No More. Let's talk about the stats on this card. It is so it's either Jund or 6 generic hybrid. It's this really weird, like 2 and a black.
Kept the fucking hybrid mana cost from the
yeah, they literally were like,
he just dropped the blue white.
Yep. Scarecrow 3/3. When the Reaper enters, put a -1 counter on each up to 2 target creatures, and whenever a creature an opponent controls with a -1 counter on it dies, you may put that card onto the battlefield under your control. Do this only once each turn. I mean, at least putting on equipment and shit is probably the most inspired way to build this legend, because otherwise you're literally just killing your opponent shit all the time. And it's kind of a little fucking disappointing. That's just me. The
original Reaper King was also a removal typo deck, so the more things change, the more things stay the same.
They were like, well, we got to keep that theme. And I was like, did you really? Like, did you have to? But they did have that negative counter theme. I am hearing very mixed opinions about that particular Jund Precon, where some people are like, yes, this is the savior that we've all been waiting for. Let's fucking go. Scorpion King, the Scorpion God, excuse me, like hell yeah, and Hapatra, like okay, cool, woohoo. And then other people are like, damn, this shit's boring. And I'm not sure.
It just depends on how drift compatible you are with that with that particular precon's like lead designer, I think if you have a high level of compatibility with them, then this deck is probably sick as fuck for you and will perform in your hands. But people who are not enthusiastic about playing -1/-1 counters control will look at this -1/-1 counters control deck and be like, I sleep.
Yep. So yeah. Raybrook Hang No More, Imaginary Fiend, thanks for giving us that one. Let's get into comments.
All right, we've got one from Dracoolution here who says, always a fun time, and Sons with the Boros soapbox just left to fucking cook. Well done, dude. Also, Sons and Kristen talk Boros. Discussion interview win. This needs to happen.
We will.
That is a...
We'll work on that. It could happen. It's kind of borderline impossible, but...
getting schedules to line up is a task, but that would be an interesting conversation, no doubt.
We just got a bunch of Boros lovers
Boros.
all in one fucking roof. Could not be contained. Also, Drago saying, keep up the cool shit you always do. Thank you so much.
Will do, of course, babes. Oh, Jake calling you out. Cole's love of demonic junker making me want to try out a Grease Fang brew. Hell yeah, dude, get in there. Vroom, vroom. I also like my Grease Fang deck.
And Grease Fang tech always evolving. I made a meme about how I was like, I don't like vehicles, and then Demonic Joker shows up, puts my hand on my shoulder, and says, "You do now." And the answer is like, okay, kind of, I guess. But
you like one vehicle. You like a fleshbag Marauder that's a vehicle.
A fucking super fleshbag Marauder 3.0 here. Like, this thing, I way too much mileage. I fucking scammed it like several times in the last like month and a half, and I've been like, hot damn, that's the potential. I actually crewed it. I was like, I gotta make this thing a creature so I can fucking scam it, and I'm like, hot damn, that's pretty cool tech.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty stupid.
Fucking cast a demonic junker for very cheap, blow something up, and then fucking sacrifice it to a thing that makes the mana value or gives you mana for the mana value. Ridiculous.
Jay here saying, I've been waiting for 143 years for a lobster card. Yeah,
Happy
it was
for you, buddy.
Kind of crazy it took that long for any kind of lobster to show up, considering we've had various crabs. But hey, you got it in space.
Up next, Questioning Feldogriff says, Bubbly Mardu made my 2025. A fantastic deck / archetype name. Heart emojis.
Yeah. It was the only way for me to compromise on deciding to go 4-color with Brea. And that's the way I'll keep justifying it to myself and everyone else.
Right. Indominus Lux here says, pitching Blackblade Reforged for the Master Sword, playing off how the Master Sword was likewise reforged in Tears of the Kingdom. I have not seen the rest of that game, but it is a common thread throughout the history of Zelda that the Master Blade does need to be reforged, to have its power restored in some way. So yeah, I'm absolutely seeing that. Blackblade Reforged is the Master Sword. Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah, I know your opinions on Tears of the Kingdom. You're like, wow, it's just the same game, and then you kind of stop.
No, actually, it's a completely different genre of game. That's a survival crafter, and I'm not playing that.
Okay, I'm getting back on my get good high horse here. What the fuck?
I'm not gonna get good, dude.
I feel like, okay, I don't know. I felt like both games were that until it wasn't. But anyway, Bulby Day, talking about in the same vein of what we were talking about, Sword of Hours would be a great Master Sword. What the fuck does that card even do?
I think that's a dice rolling card, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, let's go. Sword of Hours from the Forgotten Realms Commander set. 2 mana to equip 2. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, put a +1 counter on it. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage, period. Holy shit. Roll a d12. If the result is greater than the damage dealt or the result is 12, double the number of +1 counters on that creature. Okay. That's pretty fucked up. Don't exactly know how flavorful it is, but that would be pretty cool.
Fucking wild. Why is this $10.99 retail?
I think you know why.
Yeah, just the one printing, and it says double the result if you get a good dice roll. So those people who are addicted to rolling dice in Magic the Gathering are paying at the nose for that.
Mm-hmm. Next comment here.
Newton says, as a predominantly black mage, I didn't know how much I would enjoy listening to a bunch of Boros appreciators, but I gotta say, your fanaticism for the color pair is contagious. Big props to Joshua, too. He lets my reanimator self buy back creatures to my heart's content. The black heart and the white heart emojis.
Yeah. If we both never talk about Boros cards again, this podcast might as well truly be over. We are phoning it in.
Fans, I am dead.
We are phoning it in. We are no longer alive. We are probably dying, or something else tragic is happening. So this one is not a comment. But I do got to shout out Mr. Mikey Carosa from Am I the Bullcast, because we've been chatting it up via text message. And allow me to paraphrase what he sent to me earlier. In that he bugs us about our podcast every other week about how much he loves it, and he will be returning someday for the That's Right 24-hour Heroes Blade Vibe Check charity drive episode. This man is
bananas.
Insane. We could probably argue for 12 hours, but that 24 hours is fucking
24 hours, you wildin'.
But if we do decide to do a live episode for an extended period of time, and or we do our own omnibus episode, you could be sure as shit we will be having people like Mike Carosa and Charlotte and other people coming back. But you know, that's who knows when that's gonna happen. All right, Quinn, it is DJ Space Girl time. Let's fucking hit that shit.
Hell yeah, watch me smash some waveforms together like dolls.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck is up, Spacelings? DJ Space Girl back at it again on the ones and twos, sending you those beats across the interstellar radio waves. This week, I got a track for you inspired by the desire to play with wave files like dolls and make them smooch. Get locked into the groove and let your mind wander the soundscape we've constructed for you.
Chopping up the brakes on them. Chopping up the brakes on them. Chopping up the brakes on them. Chopping up the brakes on them.
Just calculating in the application of their power. You revel in your undead might first. reach font survive.
So I got to admit, first of all, banger. Sometimes I'm not musically inclined. So when people get into debates about like certain genres of music or certain artists where people are like, actually, this is new metal, and other people are like, actually, this is grunge, and then other people are like, you fucking buffoon, this is not even remotely grunge at all. And all those jokes about like genres and stuff. Sometimes you send me stuff and I'm like, okay, I'm a smart guy. What the fuck is Empress Quinn up to this time? And I somehow managed to be like, jazzy breakbeats ? And you're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, foo, all right. Oh, I passed the check. I don't know what, but I figured it out. But
Man,
yeah,
out here trying to guess whatever fucking genre I'm emulating this week.
yeah, just like, I don't know. You're like, I don't know, throw shit in the wall, fucking chop it up, throw it in a pot, fucking boil that shit together. Blam, you got fucking something, all right? Just don't fucking at me. Like, yeah, you got
I
it.
basically was digging in some digital crates and found a breakbeat that I liked and found another breakbeat that I liked, and then we smashed the two breakbeats together, and then we found some chords from a different sample that we liked, so we put that in there. And then, of course, we had to make sure that it sounded like it was sampled directly from the vinyl record. So I took my favorite vinyl record sample, we put that in there, and we played that accordingly. And then
Sick.
we're gonna, I think, like desaturate it a little bit, and then add some other things, and then add some turntable scratches.
Wait, we're not supposed to be. Yeah, you're okay. You the listener, have heard the final version. As of right now, Quinn is putting the spinning rims on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is always, yeah, it is funny. So like, let's look behind the Wizard of Oz curtain for a second here. It is funny doing these episodes like every couple weeks because one, we are doing it like very much of the moment of like, hey, we're recording on a Monday and this has happened. And okay, now that we've spoiled where we are in time, let's continue to talk about whatever. And then sometimes it's like, Quinn, I have no idea what song you're giving me this week because you yourself don't know either. And you're like, yup. And then sometimes you have a complete track like ready to go. And I'm like, damn, this is fucking sick. And then, or you know, in media res, like in the middle of editing on your end. And then on my end, like, because that's kind of one of the things we've been talking about, like retro gaming and using like old samples and getting kind of like that radio crackle or that record scratch quality or like whatever, right? Like get that kind of like old fashioned kind of feel to everything. Like, I don't know. There's a reason why there's this huge nostalgia trip from a bunch of people, not necessarily just of like people in our age group who are like millennials or Gen X or whatever you want to, like whoever you are, right? Like, there is that nostalgia of, I don't want to listen to this song at like whatever the equivalent of like 4K resolution in sound is. Like, I don't really give a shit. Like, give me that imperfection. Like, give me that kind of, that little old fashioned feeling of like, I want that stuff on vinyl, even though personally, like I've never handled like vinyl or anything like that. Like, but I can appreciate it. You know, cassette tapes. Like, I fucking used, what fucking album? There was a cassette tape. I don't know. I hold on. Let me,
While he's thinking about that,
Yeah.
I think it was Brian Eno who said something about whatever's like cringe and unlikable about the medium, like currently, will become what makes it like adored in the future. So the like low fidelity sound of cassette tapes and the like vinyl crackle from records and the weird like textures of VHS and the film grain from film photography, all of that is like a cringe at the time, and then is a thing that we've come to love about that sound.
yeah, like it's just that there's so much. Oh, is this okay? I think I figured it out. So, my parents gave me this old dual cassette slot radio that like my grandpa had, and there was a lot of things shit, where like I got a lot of things, like, you know, he passed away and we inherited it, like get like an old cassette tape video recorder, like a VHS tape. And then there was the dual slot radio that my mom's like, yeah, I used to grow up with that and like use, you know, back when our parents used to do like make each other mixtapes from the radio.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, so there was this old Dance Mix 93 tape that had, and I had to really think about this because I'm like, what the fuck is this? It had Whoop There It Is by Tag Team, and it had Tribal Dance by 2 Unlimited and like a bunch of these other artists on it. And I haven't listened to those songs in forever, but I do remember fucking playing that tape so much that the tape got taken out of the whole thing.
Hell yeah. Wore that shit out.
And I'm like, fuck. But then I'm like, you know, there's that part of you that like always remember playing those tapes, and then like you go through the 6 or 7 or 8 tracks on one side, and then you flip it over and you play it on the other side. And yeah, like I used, you know, like that, it's such a weird analog era that like even people like in the 80s and 90s and like early 2000s still manage to have, and we just don't have that as much anymore unless you actively go looking for it.
Yeah, you do have to actively go looking for it. You can still find people who are putting out releases on physical media via CDs and cassette tapes and vinyl if they're fancy. So all of that, if you want to engage with it that way, is still good. And finding music through recommendations is still like, you can still do it old school. Like you don't have to have the algorithm tell you what to listen to.
There was I came across this thing on Bluesky, and I follow, like, I'm kind of casually following this, like, community / like worker owned, I think it's called Aftermath is what the website is called. And it's, here we go, an independent worker owned website about video games and internet culture. And it's all just got like a bunch of written media stuff. And one of the ones that I saw recently, was where someone was shifting from traditional, like what we do now when it comes to like streaming media and stuff. And they got themselves a digital Walkman. Like,
oh, hell yeah, dude.
It's got like touchscreen stuff, and pretty much the only thing that it is meant to do is play music. It's got like the 3.5 millimeter jack, and I think like a 4.4 like audio jack. It's got an SD card, which, like, you know, now we can carry literally possibly like tens of thousands of songs on an SD card because technology.
Yeah, we're out here with the fucking thumbnail sized 256 gigabyte SD cards, and that's small.
And the dollar per gigabyte is getting like cheaper and cheaper the more technology like gets better with it.
Ridiculous how good storage is.
When I was in school for 3D animation, wow, we were going on a tangent here, but let us yap.
Yeah, whatever, it's our podcast.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Whatever. The fucking you've been here for nearly 4 hours. You can continue to listen to us talking about fucking old ass analog media and shit. So when we started, one of the very first things that, like, as part of our onboarding into classes and stuff, the guy was like, so, all right, let's go over some things. First of all, flash drives, shit, garbage, do not rely on them, triple save your shit, all this other stuff, right? Because they were talking about, like, if you get an SD card, if you get an SD card and everything's got different media, but they're like, so you use a flash drive, you use a USB, like, this will be your bread and butter. You can get it as super cheap as you want, but you always want to have like as plentiful memory as possible. But just remember that it will always be at risk of being damaged because it's not solid state media. But they're like, if you're going from class to class for the short term, as long as you're making efforts to like back up your projects and stuff on a solid state drive, like you will always never run into that issue. But they were like, obviously, purchasing a solid state drive for saving your 3D animations and all this other stuff, pretty expensive. But they're like, but
yep,
USB drives, flash drives, like you can get like a quarter of a terabyte or whatever for like $60. And they're like, for that rate, for this brand or whatever, they're like, you can never go back because like, when can you get 250 gigabytes of memory for that cheap? And the answer is, you did that shit over like 20 years ago. Good fucking luck. Either that shit didn't exist yet, or you're paying like twice the amount of like whatever the storage capacity was. And you know, we used to do shit on floppy disks. Like that's how fucking insane where we're at right now.
Floppy disks. OMG.
Like that's what, you know, that's why the floppy disk is always the save icon and all this other stuff that like nowadays people don't even fucking know what a floppy disk is or know what a cassette or a VHS or whatever, right? So yeah,
they see IRL floppy disks and be like, oh shit, they made real save icons.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, obviously we're in a very much different time. Like again, hey, you know, magic time versus real life time. And then you even look within the lens of like, wow.
Yeah, this is probably the most old head we've ever sounded.
Yeah, you know, it's like, oh, hey, you know, I'm like 31 years old. And like, kid, what are you doing?
You're a hunk.
I'm trying. Well, I mean, I am one, but that's besides the point. But, you know, it's like, again, like getting that old, anytime we're doing that transitionary stuff, do TJ Space Girl intermission time where it's like, hey, I want to get that like radio crackle. I want to get fucking weird sound effects. That at this point for that attorneys at law opening bit, I got some like sound effect ideas, but like other than that, I'm just gonna like let that shit rock and I'm gonna do my editing in the background and like I don't know. That's where we're at. Like I love doing this shit. That is the fun part of doing this whole thing, and on top of yapping for like 3 hours at a time is that trying to figure out how to get the episodic bit out in a way that is like, yeah, this is the radio show bit where we try to get that like quality, that downgraded quality to give that old fashioned feeling. Like, and I don't know, like we're doing this whole like, oh, we're so old bit now. But I'm like, I try to explain this shit to like my parents and they would like, I get it, but like, why are you doing that? And it's like, you know what?
Because I'm a fucking nerd, Mom.
Because I'm a giant, hey, I'm a fucking nerd. I've, you know, doing this has allowed me to learn a lot about that shit. Yeah. Anyway, hope you all enjoy that shit.
Anyway, thanks for listening to our podcast. We really appreciate it.
Let's talk about other shit. Let's talk about other people's shit. Let's talk about creative media.
All right, I'm gonna hit the bong. Tell me about Boggart Ballad.
All right. I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but Wizards hired Jim Henson's Creature Shop, the people who did like, was it the Dark Crystal or whatever the fuck it is? See, this is how much I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. But they got, you know, professional puppeteers to fucking do this super sick musical bit as an advertisement for Lorwyn Eclipsed.
Yeah, they had to spend some fucking money on this, and it looks great.
It looks fucking awesome. The music is fucking popping. It's really entertaining.
Sound was very fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun listening to that and watching them. And just a duet between your Lorwyn self and your Shadowmoor self. How fucking peak is that, dude?
Yeah, like oh my god, they're the same person, but they're opposites, and they're both doing the fucking. It's a ballad. It's a duet. It's fucking sick. And then they also have been advertising some like kind of podcast bit where they were reviewing Shocklands and stuff, and that fucking cracked me up too. So
nice, I haven't seen that one.
Oh well, if I find it, I'll send it your way. But yeah, sick. Like they have so they have that. They have a behind the scenes thing. They have like some little podcast short bits that they were doing for it, where they got these characters doing this thing, and yeah, it's a good time. I really digging it. Go check that out. I know that we can sit here and lament that they got spoilers out in a week. But we can also love and appreciate and have some fucking whimsy over this super sick fucking ballad. Someone was like, so you hate this, right? I'm like, first of all, shut the fuck up. How dare you? Like, this is fucking awesome.
Even Nicole can find
call me whimsyless one more fucking time. If you don't like this, you have no heart and soul. This thing is fucking awesome. So yeah, definitely encourage you, if to watch anything, is to go watch a Boggart ballad, which is fucking sick. And And now let's move on to talk about some articles. Let's go start off with this article from Kaz Hines, aka Strixhaven Dropout. She just put out an article today about what she's learned in 2025 after 311 Commander games.
That's quite a few Commander games.
That's what is she? She's like 60 some odd games over me for 2025. So yeah, like, damn. As she says here, she's got approximately 0.85 games per day for the year, which is kind of crazy to think about. She's going over. So if you know anything about Kaz as a writer, she does talk about things very much about the social and player nature of the game, which is always like, I appreciate having the great insight of this stuff. She talks about obviously certain cards that she's engaged with. She's talking about playing with random people. She talks about how certain gameplay, what's the word? Certain aspects of gameplay and deck building that she's like encountered and how she feels about it and how she might be changing her mentality. How precons are pretty fucking busted. How people thought they could try scalping Universe Beyond sets and then getting blown the fuck out on their purchases, so on and so on and so on. There's a lot of interesting insights on what she's been up to in a calendar year. And it is cool to think, again, very much like a lot of the people that we talk about when it comes to like creating media and the people that we mention in the community, is that engaging the game beyond just being a player and a deck builder, to really kind of get deep in the psychology of people and as individuals. Like, it's really cool. I really appreciate what Cass brings to the table, and I do encourage you to go read her particular article for what she's figured out in the calendar year. I looked specifically at the quote unquote wombo combo section of her article here, and I'm like, I do have to think about this. Hey, Andy and Kyle. I know Kyle doesn't listen. Maybe he does. Hey, can you get that therapy session combo episode out? Thanks.
Fucking all right, buddy.
I'll pay you money. Okay. Now let's go to another favorite writer, Kristen. She's got 4 articles out here from the last episode to now that I want to be talking about. 4 of them here. 8 commander cards you should play more often. Her commander wish list for 2026, taking into account what she wished in 2025. Swiftfoot Boots or Lightning Greaves, which is better? This is the one that's really caught my interest because it's something that I think about a lot when it comes to protective equipment.
Yeah.
And her last one here, her most recent one, Lorwyn and Myth, Lorwyn's real life inspirations, which, hey, Lorwyn is Celtic, which is very cool to think about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, let's talk about the Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves article just for a real quick sec here, because again, this is one that's been really picking my brain, and the one that she also like brings a lot of questions to the table here when it comes to protective equipment that we have in games now that allows you to just casually slip things on to usually protect your commanders, your key pieces, and so on, beyond just step dodges and ways to give your stuff hexproof and so on. You know, is a Lightning Greaves and or a Swiftfoot Boots good for your deck? What are the pros and the cons? Hexproof versus Shroud, free equip versus not, etc., etc. And some alternatives and different cards that you can think about playing in those slots. I recently, or somewhat recently, I put both Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots into my Imskir Iron Eater deck. And there's several reasons why I did this. Redundancy for very similar effects is one of them. Having the ability to move around certain equipment for very cheap, if for 0 mana, is also pretty important. And also, like, are you able to work around Shroud is like a whole other thing. And so when I find that, depending on the types of protection spells, like, I'm usually cutting Lightning Greaves because the Shroud and having to need another body to target for the equip is like such a huge downside. But it is really hard to argue against just casual pay 0, move this around as willy-nilly as many times as you need to. That is always going to be the you know, make or break part of that card. But damn, it is really hard. Like in a world of ward 4, blah blah, pay 2 life, blah blah blah, of all these like extra things, sometimes just being hard no goes such a long way
really
in your deck
does.
composition. Many a time that you're like, damn, I would love to target that, but you got a fucking Swiftfoot Boots there, sheesh, and then you kind of just move on with your life.
Yeah, you gotta like blow up the Swiftfoot Boots or Wrathful a fucking board.
What do you think about those 2 cards?
Personally, I don't play a whole lot of those 2 in particular. I think I have been playing more of the Diving Bell from the Fallout set. I think it's like Champion's Helm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that one does the buff and the hexproof, and you're always putting it on your commander, so it gets the buff because it's legendary. Something about that speaks to me. I think I did put the Swiftfoot Boots in Jekt, and the Lightning Greaves and the Swiftfoot Boots are both in the Atali deck. I'm not really sure if I like think a whole lot about the like tactically which I'm going to include. I think we just if I would like the protection, I'd consider those, but I'd definitely start with Champion's Home because I like to see number go up. I'm just a fucking cave person about that.
It's gotten pretty it is really hard to getting haste is sometimes a way to like make or break a deck, like especially in the world of blind obediences and so on, where it's like, okay, well, if blind obedience is out, then playing Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves like really doesn't fucking matter. But then that's where those other equipment and sometimes more flexible power go up, so on and so on. She also mentions Dragonfire Blade here, and my opinion of that card has gone way up. Especially,
have you actually gotten to play it?
I played it a couple times. Yeah, I got it on Zuko.
Nice.
Like
I haven't tried it yet.
I just think that like in terms of in a world where you pay 1 mana for an equipment and then you pay 2 or 1 or 0 or whatever to equip it to something else, and it gets +2/+2 and a hexproof or monocolored. That is still obviously a pretty niche form of protection, but that does turn off a lot of circumstantial removal that's sometimes stapled to a monocolor body or whatever. Like we joke about Doomblade or attrition or like, you know, whatever like shit like that is, but it still doesn't change.
You put that shit on and you don't die to Doomblade anymore. That's just factual.
So and the obvious the point of the article and the point Kristen gets to is that like the forms of protection, proactive and reactive, has gotten a lot better, whether you're equipment pilled or not, and they've become more affordable and more plentiful, and like the variety going up really does go a long way, and you got your universes within and without versions of how to go about it. So it's not just the binary of Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots now. It's much more varied, and ultimately obviously depends on like your meta and what your deck is asking of you. And sometimes one of these is going to be pulling way more fucking weight than what those other 2 could do. So go definitely read that one in particular. That one's been tickling my brain, and part of what I'm going to be talking about in a sec here, or further down the way when we're talking about decks. So yeah. Anything you may have glanced or seen recently besides like previews?
It's kind of just been previews and then Lorwyn story content, TBH.
Which you know, we're gonna be getting to that in a hot minute here. So
we sure fucking are, buddy.
Let's move on then.
All right.
To Brews Off the Shelf / let's talk about our New Year's resolutions 2026, or, you know, our Ressies. let's talk about some decks before we talk about some Ressies. So let's start with you.
That's a good order. I have just one here, actually. This is unusual of me.
I know, you sometimes you just got the whole like, oh, I got 6. And I'm like, oh, holy fuck.
Yeah, this week we were very reasonable and responsible. We saw one brand new card, and the day of, we fucking built that shit and played it on stream. Her name is Bree of Clan Stout Arm.
What a card.
Yeah, what a card indeed. So she's a 4-mana 4/4. She's like 2, a red and a white, legendary creature, giant warrior. And for 1 and a white, you can tap her to give another target creature you control flying and lifelink until end of turn. Then at the beginning of your end step, if you've gained life this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the spell's mana value is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Otherwise, put it into your hand. So I read this and then I saw her art, and she's just like got this basket full of little sheep, and she's got her, I guess, like shepherd's hook. And it's just like a very cute image. She's looking upon them with love, and I immediately, with that paired with the rules text, got the mental image of her giving an Inferno Titan a little smooch, and then sending that into the air on some heart-shaped bubbles. And we were like, perfect, all right, I'm attached. We will make this happen.
Yeah. This is a great way, like, obviously, Lorwyn Eclipsed, much like other returning sets, there's a lot of ways to, like, have those throwbacks, and in this case, literally a throwback to good old Brian Stoutarm. And what a way to kind of quote unquote fix it, to be like, all right, so we've gotten a little bit softer handed about how we are throwing these creatures.
Yeah, now when we throw our creatures into the air, they don't fucking die. They will still be hitting you, though, and that I very much love. As it turns out, flyers win games, and lifelink is extra turns.
You know, the very thing that you have been warning us about for, like, over, like, pretty much since the start of the podcast.
Yeah, basically.
You're like, all right, it's time for me to weaponize it because you guys just continue to let me get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, this will be on the test.
Damn. All right,
and
so
that's me
let's
casting lifelinkers at you. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. Deck construction. I wanted to focus on 2 mana ramp so that I could cast the guy on 2 and then Bree on turn 3 with her being a 4-drop, and then on turn 4 I can activate Bree. And I wanted to focus on making the ramp creatures so that I would have something that turn to give flying and lifelink so that I could get in there for damage, because Bree's trigger does not go on the stack if you have not gained life that turn. So I wanted to make sure that as soon as we were capable of doing it, we could do the thing. And I guess we could also get there with early lifelinkers, but this is the route that we wanted to take because I got some heckin' fucking chonkers in here, and I also want to cast them. Speaking of heckin' fucking chonkers, let's skip right to the banger section. We got some other sections that we'll get to in a sec, but I want to talk to you about my bangers. Just some shit that's not allowed to have lifelink. Summon Kujata, Inferno Titan, Volatile Arsonist, Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest.
You definitely gave me some ideas when you fucking were like, summon Kujata. I'm like, hold on a minute here. Wait. Holy shit.
I think every time I have cast Summon Kujata in this deck, it has been interacted with. People do not fucking want to see this 7/5 with haste and trample also get flying and lifelink, because I will give it that in response to this burn damage trigger to make sure that I gain every drop of life.
You're like, wait a minute. Check this shit out. And you know, like, who the fuck am I kidding? I have always dabbled, like, Inferno Titan is right here on this list. That is the first thing that I'm eyeballing. And I'm like, damn, I do love giving this thing like Death Touch and Lifelink and all this other shit that makes it, like, what a way to take a card that a lot of people continuously look down upon, and you're like, hey, Inferno Titan, get in there with like Overlord of the Boiler Bilges and blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll make our own Flage. I don't give a fuck. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got those in here. Speaking of Flage, got that here too.
Yep.
Down here in the 3-drop section, the fucking lightning helix on a body. Man, imagine one of these with flying and lifelink. That's not supposed to have that.
Nope, but we'll make our own fucking monster, that's for sure.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I also wanted to play Baneslayer Angel, so I put Baneslayer Angel in the deck from the beginning and did not cut her. We've also got Summon Bahamut and Summon Knights of the Round because fuck them, that's why.
Because fuck them, that's why. So funny.
We got Sun Titan to buy back my techie key pieces in the bottom end of the deck. Speaking of those guys, let's talk about my Soul Sisters. I wanted to play Soul Sisters to ensure that we had other ways of getting the life gain trigger, even if we couldn't deal damage. So I've got the busted cards of Guide of Souls, Distinguished Conjurer, and Halia, Guided by Light, all here to gain me life whenever creatures enter, and they all offer some other measure of value. Halia being a card advantage engine. If I can draw 3 or more or if I gained 3 or more life this turn, she'll draw me a card on my end step. She's also got Warp, so I can pay that for a white mana and just like immediately get that effect for a turn, which can get me the trigger when like maybe I don't have the other means to make that happen via combat. We've also got the Distinguished Conjurer's activated ability to exile another target creature you control and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. You know we have to be blinking things. We can pre-buy all of these cool ETB triggers. And we've got some especially cool ones that we'll get to in a sec. And then Guide of Souls, like we all know, the attack trigger, you can pay 3 energy and put counters on a guy and give it flying until end of turn. Or no, it just gains a flying counter and it becomes an angel. So yeah, that type of shit is just like, I'm going to get this guy in for combat damage because you don't have flyers and I'm buffing it and we're beating your ass. That feels extremely satisfying to resolve. We also have a small package of werewolves because I wanted to play those cards.
This deck, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt before you continue here because we have played together for a very long time and I'm looking at this list and I am seeing literally every little piece of Empress Quinn here in this goddamn list. It is like, oh, hey, okay, let's point. There's fucking Volatile Arsonist, Tersa Light Shatter, Sun Titan, whatever. Bunch of new summons from the Final Fantasy set. There's Stoneforge Mystic, there's Phalia, there's the Overlords, there's fucking Seneschal of the Sun, there's fucking Dragonhawk, there's fucking Cloud, Midgard Mercenary. Scroll down, look at equipment. There's fucking Buster Sword. There's fucking the new crystals. There's the fucking Sarima. Let's scroll even further down. Let's fucking look at Charred Foyer, Warp Space, Passionate Archaeologist. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you you're cramming everything into here that you possibly can that is so totally you.
This ended up being an extremely quintessential Empress Quinn deck.
Yeah, like, it's just like, fine, let me add my personal flair to it, and then you put literally every single Empress Quinn card that you can cram in here.
And they all work. We're all on theme. So yeah, I wanted to play werewolves, so I've got some fucking werewolves in here. It started as a desire to just play like interaction with the brutal Cathar, because I also wanted my interaction to beat your ass. So we put that in there, and then we figured while we were at it, let's get Reckless Stormseeker, and then on the top end, the Volatile Arsonist. And then, I mean, once you're this far deep on Boros Werewolves, you might as well add the last one. So here's that Ill-Tempered Loner. These guys are all pretty cool. I don't have a way to manipulate day and night, but every once in a while you play against a control mage and they skip their turn, and then you're good.
Yeah, and then they're like, wait, what? And you're like, all right, time to flip Ill-Tempered Loner into Howlpack Avenger. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on a sec.
Yeah, don't let that happen, gamers. That basically says that my creatures have unblockable, but otherwise, whenever a permanent you control is dealt damage, Howlpack Avenger deals that much damage to any target. So we start getting real fucking ridiculous. And if I give this guy lifelink, then, well, I'm gaining life in addition to all of that. That feels pretty good. like you pointed out, Cole, have my fucking Stoneblade package. Yeah, they're all here. We got Philia, we got Stoneforge, we got Cloud, we got the Sarima, we got the appropriate knives. I also got the Loxodon Warhammer in this build because Trample and Lifelink is extremely fucking strong, and I wanted the buff and not the Shadow Spear. I don't know. You want to play different cards sometimes.
Or the same cards.
Listen, we want to play different cards, but not too different, all right? Relax.
The day that Quinn does not have a Buster Sword and Sword of Hearth and Home, I need everyone to reach out. There's something going wrong.
Back in August via a post on the internet that I would be playing that in every white deck until we got bored, and we haven't gotten bored of it yet.
Anyway, a good thing I removed a particular video out of the fucking document here. So anyway, moving on. Continue.
Yeah.
I will not elaborate.
All right. Gameplay experiences? Yeah, let's get to that. Lifelink? Pretty good. The free spells? Pretty good.
Hit him with the old 1-2 here. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, I have more to say about it than that, but basically that's what it boils down to. I'm very consistently at a much higher life total than I should be when I'm playing this deck. People will be like, how is Quinn still at 40? And I'll be like, Lifelink is extremely strong. And then they try and do their attackies at me and lower my life total, and then I just give my guys Lifelink, and if I've got the Wind Crystal, we can give the whole team Lifelink, and I'm doubling the amount of life that I'm gaining. Literally just fucking time walking people. And I'm just like, you have to start commander damaging me. That is your out here. And people are like, all right, message received. And so they start taking that way to like take me out. And that's the fun push and pull that we've been having with that. Free spells also extremely fucking good, and at minimum, Bree will like draw me the card if I can't cast it. So all of that is like, there's no downsides in 2026.
Yeah, that is the really cool trade-off as card mechanic technology has changed, like leading up to this result of like, let's have a Boros card that either helps you cast a spell and or puts it in your hand if it's like, it's basically a form of discover. Like, it's pretty good to just be like, that is not a card I want to play into this board. I will put that into my hand for later use.
Yeah, sometimes there's like, here's this Wrath of God. There are 2 creatures on the board and they are on your battlefield. I will be putting that into my hand. Thank you.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Speaking of Discover, I've got Quintorius Cant in here. He's another free spells good card, and he synergizes with Bree casting things from exile, so we like that a lot. I did have a little bit of the cast from exile technology. Like, we've got the Passionate Archaeologist and the Delayed Blast Fireball. The Ultimate Magic Meteor and Ultimate Magic Holy we also put in the deck because I wanted to do a little juke on them. I don't always have the same spell in Foretell. I can have up to 3 different ones now, so stay on your toes.
Yeah.
But 2 of them are board wipes, so it's not a whole lot different.
Really, huh? Take your fucking pick. Well, I'll tell you this right now. I can tell you what it's not. It's not Doomscar.
It's not, and I always say Doomscar, and people always take me at my word.
Well, it's Doomscar adjacent, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not going to get on my soapbox and be like, but Quinn, why don't you play more instant sorceries? Not gonna get into it. That's not what this deck is about. You're doing too much with literally everything else.
Extremely crucial instant protection spells, and we have the card advantage to see those, so I think it's fine. I've got Judgment of Alexander from the Final Fantasy IX Scene box set, which finally accurately represents the amount of fucking power that Alexander as a summon has. It's literally the Alexandrian castle, my guy. Like, that thing fucking hits, and that's exactly what the spell does. It shelters you in its wings and absolutely fucking ruins every creature that dared attack you. Additionally, the other one is... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I saw a Veggie Wagon video about it. He's like, yeah, damn, this card is good. I am not playing this card because it's too good for its rate. Like, that fucking scene box was a bunch of cards on those scene boxes for Final Fantasy were fucking cracked, but that particular one, even I was looking at and being like, ooh, that could be pretty fuck busted if you're
It's pretty gas.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway,
yeah, my other protection spell is Ultimate Magic Holy, like we talked about. So I got, I'm holding shit up.
Yeah. And not to mention that that is the cool thing about that spell of being able to be like, hey, you could foretell it, or if you happen to get it off Bree in that crucial moment, I don't know how or why you would do that, but like, hey, like that, like, I don't know, hold on, wait, let me take a look, read the card. Reading the card explains the card. The beginning of your end step, never mind, you just cast that spell.
I would just put it into my hand.
Yeah. Still pretty good. I grabbed another one of those and I'm like, this is a good spell. Good spell.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. I initially had this at bracket 2 with no game changers, and the experience that it was serving was just like, all right, we should probably crank that up a little bit. So we spent our game changer budget on Yeska's Will and Ancient Tomb, and I think that was it, because we just needed the additional ramp and card advantage that provided. But otherwise, the experience that she's serving is probably like, yeah, I mean, if I get Force of Willed, I don't feel mad about that. I probably earned the Force of Will, frankly.
Yeah, if you were gonna get free spelled, it might as well be that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do dig a lot of the stuff, what's going on in here, because it does. Again, the Empress Quinn seal of approval on it. But you do get a lot of different variety of cards in here.
Yeah, I got to touch a lot of different cards from throughout my play history and put some new cards in here. And seeing all of this as a culmination of my exploration of the Boros color pair is pretty interesting. I like that.
Yeah. I got to play against it only once so far this year, because that's something we can say in January. But I do look forward to see, okay, so I guess the real question is how do you feel about Bree overall as a card and as a commander for you? You think this is one of those
keywords.
Fucking free what do they call it? Fucking dine and dash. It's gonna be a dine and dash moment where you go on a date with Bree once and then kind of leave her hang it to dry,
I think that all depends on her availability on MTGO, TBH. Definitely gonna draft a bunch of Lorwyn and do the shopping for commanders, and if I can grab one of those, then we will absolutely be playing that on the regular, I think. Unless I get bored of this particular brand of free spells and free wins via lifelink.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe we put her in the 99 and they'll give me a new busted Boros legend to try out.
Yeah, that's so. I was doing my typical, does this set do anything for Bloodrick look through, and that's usually how I start looking at any set. Is I do that first pass look through of looking at red and white cards, and then I observe the I observe the set as a more generic Magic the Gathering commander player. And I already looked at Bree and I'm like, surprisingly not my top pick for Odric, but definitely still pretty good because there is enough random spots of lifelink, and you are also giving a creature 2 keywords that Odric cares about. So she could probably slot in there.
Yeah, I think if you can find a spot for her in the highly contested 4-drop slot, then she will add quite a bit of value to your game plan. She is doing a lot of heavy lifting with free spells and lifelink and flying.
Well, and that is the kind of the main issue is that this isn't the part where I start talking about Blood Drake super thoroughly, because that's probably for next episode. But like you said, the 4-drop slot category is like 3 and 4 is always hard to do.
4-drops are so stacked these days, dude.
And when you look at mine, like, okay, I only have 9 in there, right? And let me go through it here. I got Against All Odds, Agris Cost, Spirit of Justice, Anger, Aya of Alexandria, which, like, I don't know, already has lifelink, but whatever. Iros got a Victory, Marshal's Anthem, which has always been super clutch with this deck. Aloran Searing Light, and the 2 new additions, Smeller Bee, Rebel Fighter, and Summon Yojimbo.
Yeah,
And
Yojimbo's never let me down in the 4-drop slot, so I'm like, that guy is probably going to be there for a long time.
in terms of new tech with like card advantage, Bree of Clown Stat Arm asks if you are going to be gaining life at your end step. So that, only happens there. Smeller Bee, the new card advantage kind of source that I was looking for in the deck, does several things. One, it's a first strike body given the keyword, so that's pretty good. Other creatures you control have haste, enabling another keyword to be available for Odric when he enters. And finally, you may discard your hand to draw the cards equal to the number of attacking creatures. So that could
that feels busted.
That's pretty fucking good. I've been in a lot of games where you're playing red and you are at 1 and or 0 cards. Then you discard and you draw 3 or 4 or 5 plus cards at a time. And you're like,
yeah, it feels like taking a deep breath of fresh air. It's delicious.
So again, like I've meticulously scoured slots like over and over and over again over the past 4 years that I've had this deck. And like Bree reads really good, but my God, it is like borderline impossible to even think about what would be cut to add her to this list. And the reality is she probably doesn't make the cut. Like definitely good, strong contender. Probably would rather have her as part of the 99 of another deck that is, Boros adjacent, because she'll, again, the activated ability of giving something else flying and lifelink until end of turn is so fucking huge.
I'm thinking about her in the context of the 99 of Mardu Zuko, and you can give Zuko himself the flying and lifelink, and her end step spell cast will count for casting from
For
exile.
the exile.
For Zuko.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I should look into that. No idea, in terms of pre-release sale prices, not looking to be super expensive.
Well, she's
so
Boros, so I don't think she's going to be that expensive. People are sleeping on that. Unless
Sons is shaking his fists already. He was complaining about how he missed the chance to do a review on Bree, but hey, you snooze, you lose. Am I right? But again, only one of 21 legends for the set. I really wish they did the Flip Boros like legend, but getting some kind of giant rep and also having a throwback to Brian Stout Arm was, I'll take it.
I'm glad we still did get at least one Boros giant, even if it's not a sick flip card.
But yeah, cool deck, cool card. I really do enjoy the end result, what you got cooking here. Pretty spooky. Pretty spooky.
Yeah. Sometimes you do gotta just give Bree the hammer and do the work yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you got for me?
All right, my one deck, but hey, let's actually take a step back and take a look at
yeah, tell me about Cole's Big Book of Ops 2025.
Once again, thanks Medusa for christening this this thing. So this is kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a weird, like, kind of, it's like a New Year's Ressies kind of thing, but like it's a continuation of the documenting my games of the Google Excel spreadsheet. So one of the things that I wanted to do in order to have a better recollection of the games that I was playing, and short of just taking what Sons does of having a book with you to write down like who you're playing against and what you were playing, the one half is the spreadsheet where I've simplified things to be turn order, who am I playing against, what are we playing, what am I playing, and did the deck cook or not, and then anything else to note. the other part of that was then using that spreadsheet as a reference to visualize all the legends that I had played in with a calendar year. I had one for 2024. Now I have another one for 2025 of my big book of ops that I played against in the calendar year. It is about like 95% accurate. I think maybe with like a commander with like a different version of itself from like a different set or the same set or whatever, like 5% margin of error approximately, for a total of, let me check my spreadsheet here, I'm pretty sure I said 253 games.
Nice.
For a total of 431 legends for 2025. What I did try to do, and it's still a little incomplete, and I think pretty much the quote-unquote untagged legends kind of speak for themselves when you enable the tags on the Moxfield list. Everything is organized or tagged by how many times that particular legend showed up in a calendar month. So, kind of just looking because it's out of order. April's at the very top of the list, and I saw 78 legends in that month. Like, of course, let's look at this. Sheesh. What does this mean overall? Like, what does this mean? Nothing. It's for me to look back and kind of take a look at what's going on. Getting to see kind of the depth or breadth of legends that you can see, thinking about who was playing what, and there's some consistently of like, hey, Melik Reforged Researcher, I know who played that because this card shows up several times. But then you look at the spreadsheet and it turns out, actually, wait, there was one more person that I'd met in my life that played Melik Reforged Researcher. Hey, Empress Quinn was playing Marina Vendrell, except also it could have been Brandon now that we've reached that point. Did I play against my own decks? Yeah, it turns out I did because I got to loan them out, every once in a blue moon. But
who's your most popular op?
Oh geez, that's a good question. Off the top of my head, it's probably like O'Hare, Xnil, but then there's your Gorogoro and Satoru. Pretty hard to say, honestly. I'd probably have to go over each individual card and see if something literally shows up every single month. And I think the surprising thing is, and unless I didn't tag things properly, and we're still in that kind of review point, I'm pretty sure that unless something showed up every single goddamn month, it's probably Weta Trainer Prodigy. Now that I really think about it, that there's a very funny player in my in-person group who plays Cross Defense Contractor, Weta Trainer Prodigy, what's the tree? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Doran the Siege Tower. He plays a very certain subset of legends, like his rotation's very small. And I'm pretty sure even more than Doran the Siege Tower, and I fucking hate that card just for the fact of how it completely flips the script on combat for everyone. Weta Trainer Prodigy is just a card that has so much weird combo potential. Like, you already have one part of the combo in the command zone, and then you just find the other part and just go fucking nuts and just blow everyone up. It's probably that card, really.
Already.
Yeah. Yep, I have a lot of cards on here where I look at and be like, damn, I do kind of hate that card, but honestly, nothing's really fucking burnt my ass more. So yeah. I would, go take a look at that if that's something that you're curious about. I actually think the total number of legends went down, but I think that's part of the fact that one of the groups that I'm playing with is pretty consistent with their roster. No one's made any like major waves and changes, so I don't know. We'll see what next year looks like. I don't know if I'll be doing another one, or if I do, I'm going to have to be like way more on top of it. Because sometimes I'll wait like a whole calendar month and be like, I don't know how often these showed up anymore, so I will not do that. Trying to keep track of everything is just exhausting.
It really is.
But now let's go take a look at the one deck that I mentioned last episode, and now I can talk about it a little bit more earnestly. My quote-unquote bubbly Mardu equipment deck, my Brea 4-color equipment list. I kind of gave, this is kind of a thesis, like a take everything that I have learned over 2025 and condense it into a single deck with a bit of changes. And I'm going to go over the thought process and mentality of how I got to this point, as I have copied and pasted this comment from the Legendary Creature Discord when I was giving this info out. Because Andy's like, go on, right? So, you know, hey, we're in that world of Voltron. So let's talk about how I got to this point. Let's start off with, you do equipment lists in Boros. That's the same old shit. Been there, done that. Let's do it in another color. So we're on our clue kick. Let's go take a look at Inquisitor Eisenhorn from the Warhammer 40k set, where you can equip stuff like Hero's Blade and a few other things. And also use clues as a way to like give +1 counters on Eisenhorn, rinse and repeat. That's pretty cool. Let's take a color out and do Piper Wright clues / like Voltron. Not quite as impactful or as flexible, but hey, it's still pretty cool to do and take another unit versus Beyond Legend for a spin. All right. Assassin's Creed comes out. Radun Hagadoon, aka Connor Kenway, if you're lazy about it, because no one ever knows who the fuck I'm talking about. Hey, that Esper Legend, pretty fucking sick. You know, I know we're adding white back in, but you know, let's take a non-Mardu, non-red version of equipment. Like, all right, that's pretty good. We got at this point, with this certain experience level, I'm like, all right, so we've seen most of the tricks, the ways to get discounts, ways to even maybe steal other equipment. Quinn, how does it feel to get fucking I don't know, fucking stolen uniformed twice in a row?
Fucking metagamed nerd, actually. Yeah, it's wild, but
Yeah.
it is appropriate. I mean, if I'm going to consistently play equipment, then it's your right as a Magic the Gathering player to start tucking against that with ways to steal my very nice knives. I am going to kill you for it, of course, but it's your right.
So anyway, do all that. What's the next steps? Let's kind of do white again, and do white black kind of equipment with Squall Seed Mercenary. It's kind of another Voltron deck. Sure, yeah, that's kind of okay. But again, it kind of feels like we're just doing Boros adjacent stuff, because again, white, the color identity of white, is holding up the equipment sky like the Titan Atlas. So let's change tunes again. Instead, let's do black and red this time. Let's do Rakdos. You know, as an example, we've been dabbling with artifacts via Megatron, not explicitly an equipment deck, but hey, let's take and dissect that. Final Fantasy got a lot of cool stuff. We got Firion, and we got Freya Crescent. We got fucking Barrett Wallace. We got fucking Gilgamesh, just fucking batshit fucking insane. So, you know, I got more copies of those to go pick up, whatever. What else have we learned? Reconfigured creatures are pretty cool. So let's integrate that in some of the things like the Imskir deck.
This motherfucker and his Cloud Steel Kieran.
Yeah, fucking, you kill that, and I am not losing the game. You know,
you were constantly stealing, or not stealing, but like hacking the equip on it too. Like, I don't think you've ever paid retail on that shit.
I have never paid 5 whole ass mana for Cloud Steel Kieran's reconfigure thing. It's not fucking happening. I would rather pay 4 mana for the Blade of the Oni, but also if I can bypass that, I don't care. So yeah. So I can reconfigure those creatures onto my quote-unquote equipment-only mana dorks, like Freya Crescent or whatever, and my other utility dudes. People are not fucking blocking a reconfigured Blade of the Oni. We're onto something here. We're fucking cooking. So let's take the freebies and auto equipment tech from White, Pure Steel Paladin, Stone Hero Giant as a treat. Let's use
Stone Hero. Woo!
Let's use reconfigure creatures alongside with 4 Muradin, class selects, etc., etc. And then let's use the blue, black, and red artifact synergies because you know what? We might as well get some Grixis Mean Girl stuff mixed in here. Mm-hmm. So with the lingering question of what are the compromises that have to be made to cram all this stuff together in one deck, and what happens if someone Vandal Blasts? Well, for one, we'll just be sad. So there's that.
If someone Vandal Blasts, you just play your Sun Titan.
Yeah. So the end result is this deck after it's gone through some major tweaks and reworks from when I first initially put it together and talked about it. So we got, rather than your traditional ramp pieces a la talismans or whatever, we have, again, the freebie and auto equipment tech or built-in cost reduction. Ethereum Sculptor, Sid Free Flyer Pilot, Burrow Headmaster, for like reducing the cost of, and, you know, Brunar Battlehammer to say, hey, the equip for 0, which, you know, doesn't work with the reconfigure, but that's what the other stuff is for. We grabbed a few things like, again, Rud and Hagadoon as a spare copy of stuff. Sokka and Suki that says whenever an ally enters or they enter, you could equip target equipment to them. So that bypasses that too. Pure Steel Paladin, when you have Mailcraft, gives all your equipment equip 0. So again, another way to bypass the reconfigure creatures. We then also backed it up with, again, Pure Steel Paladin, Stonehaven Outfitter, SRAM Senior Edificer. So we have that equipment, quote unquote, Enchantress kind of style stuff to help give you card advantage. We got my 2 favorite Boros little dudes, Jorkadine First Gold Warden and Mary Esquire of Rohan, as a way to draw cards via attack when they're equipped. Shimmer Dragon is part of that blue thing where it's like, hey, did you know that you can just tap your equipment that have literally nothing else to do to pay for costs and effects? Duretti Rocketeer Engineer has been a huge eye-opener. So being able to sack equipment either via Duretti or Breya for certain effects, which, hey, by the way, did you know you can pay 2 and sack 2 artifacts to do shit with Breya? Brain fucking blast. What the fuck? So then we get into the like other things of like, you know, we're still going to have a mana dork like Dalekos, because if my equipped creatures are going to have flying and haste, might as well add that in there to help pay for some equip costs if I don't always have like the snap-on stuff. We got the Steely Boy tech, a la Thieving Skydiver, Shikrat, Loot Bearer, and Stolen Uniform, which, spoiler alert, has done some work, not even just by myself. Fucking Medusa had to fucking get in that shit.
Fucking stole your Shagrat and used that to take my fucking Loxodon Warhammer. I can't have shit around here.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking horseshit. I'm up to no good. And then, of course, it's like, okay, so if I'm playing Stone Hero Giant, I might as well also bust out my fucking weird-ass game day promo. Where the fuck is it? Am I fucking blind? I didn't take it out of this list. What's the fucking... the one that I've been bugging you about? Fuck, what? Search for an equipment... It's not on the list.
Stone Hero Giant is the search for an equipment.
No, what's the other one?
The Stoneforge Mystic?
Stoneforge Mystic. I don't know why it's not on this list here. Clearly, I don't have this list up to date. That is super weird.
Yeah, it's not in here.
I definitely do have that in this fucking list because...
Oh, okay. We're taking a fucking leaf out of my book and playing all the good equipment tutors.
That's the whole fucking point. That's what I've been talking about. So, that'll be going into a New Year's Ressie I'll be talking about later, but that is part of the thing of like, if this is my compromise, that is also my compromise of tutoring for that kind of card. So what about the rest of the equipment suite? Again,
your cheeky little Colossus Hammer.
I figured it was time to bust out the stuff like the Colossus Hammer. As it turns out, when you fucking give a creature +10/+10, maybe you don't have a spare Excalibur to slot in the deck. So this, I guess, is the next best thing when you're cheating equip costs. So we're in pretty precious like slot allocations. So I need, again, my equipment to be pulling double duty. We got stuff like Chainsaw, Assimilation Aegis, Phantom Blade as sort of the kill effects that equipment could always change. You know, do I have a Meteor Sword coming in? I don't fucking know. I'm not going to tell you. Mind your business.
This motherfucker has a Meteor Sword coming in.
Sometimes you attack Brandon with an assassin token created by Radun Hagadoon with a Conformer Shuriken and tap down his like 36 blocker and hit him for 37.
He thought he was so fucking slick, but the Conformer Shuriken is a cool fucking card.
Throw in a great sword of tier because you said you bought 20 of those and you're going to be putting them in as many decks as possible, so that's making the cut there.
Just fucking scooch on past them.
We need to chop off people's heads, so we got cranial plating and cranial ram as part of our just do the Voltron punch.
Nice.
We got various forms of card selection, so we got Assassin Gauntlet, as Lenny foretold in the scrolls. Mask of Memory and Robe are the Arch Magi, which does the work. Oh, and I guess, you know, Bioorganic Carapace, but who's counting?
You are.
We got to find ways to kind of protect our stuff vaguely. So Celestial Armor is the more guaranteed one in a pinch by flashing that in. Sort of Forge and Frontier as our sort of Hearth and Home adjacent pick because god damn it, I don't have extra ones, so we'll go with that.
Very fair.
Pro green and red, which are very artifact resistant as long as you're not targeting my stuff.
Yeah, those are extremely strong colors to have protection from. It means I can't fucking Blasphemous Act and kill your guy.
Yeah. And then other tech like Resistance Reunited to give all my equipped creatures indestructible until end turn. Desynchronization to get rid of non-historic stuff, which will probably be more than you think. Battlefield Improvisation for the time that I was able to freaking snag a copy of this thing. Attach any number of equipment you control to it if it's attacking, which is pretty freaking sweet, on top of giving it a +2/+2 pump. For the handful of enchantments that we were willing to compromise with, Pia's Revolution, weapons manufacturing. So if I am sacrificing non-token artifacts, which is a non-zero chance as long as I got Brea around, because you could do some pretty funky cool shit, make ammunition and ask someone, hey, is it okay if I put my Phantom Blade back in my hand, or are you paying 3 life or taking 3 damage? And I don't know. That's up to you. I can't help you with that.
This dude's really out here sacrificing a Phantom Blade and something else with an ETB that ruins your life to Brea so that he can kill your creature and then 0.6 damage total at you if you don't let him put those kill spells back in his hand. Unbelievable.
I can't keep getting away with it. I am on my villainous shit.
He really can't, but he will. He's also got the insurance policy and the weapons manufacturing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's finally a place I can put this thing. Teleportation circle to, at the beginning of my instep, to flicker an artifact or creature. Flickering Brea, pretty good. Get more dudes out that can hold more equipment. And or flicker your Phantom Blade or reset your Assimilation Aegis because something else came out that's way more freaking stupid.
The homegirl Thwarp on the internet has been posting about her pet enchantments, that 5-mana Nahiri one from the DLC set. And just like same type beat, except you can flicker your whole board. And I'm thinking about that for the deck that I was talking about. And it probably would be cool here if you have the 5-drop slot for it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna discount it because that Nahiri's Resolve.
Yes, that one.
kind of fucked up, honestly. And the more that I've gotten to play around with it, especially in a deck like this, where you want to maybe reset your Assassin Gauntlet, your Chainsaw, your ETB kill spells. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
It feels really good.
Yeah. And then Sigarda's Aid, because, you know, as it turns out, hey, giving your equipment flash, and then auto attaching it on. If there was ever a time to be like, it's time to feel a little bit more cheap about how you want to get your free stuff out and cheat your equip costs, that's going to be the way to do it.
Just fucking flash in that Colossus Hammer and auto equip it.
Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. So yeah, there's a handful of other spells to point out, like Reality Heist and Wear and Tear, Undying Malice, Back for Seconds, blah, blah, blah. Gold Warden's Gambit, you know, doing the Gold Warden's Gambit thing of being like, I'm going to create an army. And you're like, wow, that's kind of fucked up for 2 red because you have all this other equipment out. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be an ongoing deck.
Entirely possible. This feels like the same sort of culmination of all of the things that you've been exploring over the past year.
Yep. I'm got some plans. I got some ideas. Because I was doing the red equipment matters stuff with Imscare, I think I got another, I may or may not have another Gilgamesh to pick up. I need to double check my orders. I do have another Therian though, because that guy is pretty fucking cool.
So cool.
So the main issue here is that slots are pretty competitive, because if I'm trying to compromise, it's like I need my Pure Steel Paladins and my SRAM Senior Edificer to get my card draw, but maybe I can tie my card draw to other creatures like Jorkadine and Mary, and so on and so on and so on. So I'm going to, I'm obviously got to get more reps in to figure out what really works and what doesn't work. I got the more tried and true stuff, and I got some of my personal stuff that does work, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works in the 99. Radun Hagadoon, even in the 99, it done way too much work again for his raid. That card is so fucking cool. I'm excited to see Sokka and Suki like having kind of its own loop of an equipment comes in, make the ally, then trigger the first ability to just auto snap the thing onto that ally. Again, Radun Hagadoon's already doing that with assassin tokens. Like, why not again do it there? Trying to find ways to protect my shit a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? Having a little more sturdy forms of protection. Winter Cursed Rider and Bronze Guardian kind of come together to give the ward 2 pay 2 life kind of thing, but is that the best way and result to go about it? Probably not, but I'm going to give them a try first and then kind of adjust as needed.
I was wondering how Winter was working out for you, because I haven't gotten to play him yet. I keep putting him in like Grixis inclusive artifacts decks, and he either doesn't show up or is completely ineffective when we like have the chance. Like, it doesn't matter by that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's if he comes in too late, I don't know. He's kind of sort of a board wipe depending on how many artifacts that you have in your graveyard. He is in here because, one, I think this current the alt art printing with like the blue and foil like looks fucking sick.
It looks sick as hell, dude. Winter's never looked better. He's
got an above rate power and toughness ratio to his mana value. He can hold equipment.
You know what? Maybe he's a Dimir Vehicles commander. I'll get back to you with a list like that in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Okay, cool, sick. So yeah, I'm trying stuff out, and playing in 4 color, yes, is one step away from being 5 color, and it's a dangerous slippery slope, but we'll never go there. But I really did want to just
what is green adding to equipment anyway?
I don't fucking heroic intervention ramp. I don't fucking know. Like, damn
it.
Like, I know I've been gotten God by heroic intervention too many times. It's just like, whatever.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah. What is green heroic intervention? Fuck, I should have tried harder.
That's me. I set the bar too low.
Yeah. I'm going to mention this now before we kind of move on, but I did manage to add Invasion of New Capenna that flips into Holy Frazzle Cannon, which one is just really funny.
Yeah, I do think that card's very funny.
But in terms of looking at creature types, there's a non-zero amount of humans, or warriors, or artificers, or whatever. So there's not like really a non-zero amount of ways to do this. But also, I did just need like more ways to have like hybrid kill spells that also has like artifact stuff, and it can be brought back with Sun Titan. So that was kind of like my. I'll throw a battle a bone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so again, this is the end result of trying to do. Okay, if there are 5 colors of Magic, and my least favorite color is green, how do I compromise of doing Grixis and Mardu essentially together? Is my mentality.
You make them hold hands in a beautiful, like, I don't know, clanging of armor.
Yeah, bang bang, swords against shields. We're on the walking march to our death. So yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna give this a try in person and online a little more often in the near future. And I have my fingers crossed that it holds up, because I have high hopes for it and I don't want them to be crushed.
All right, gamer time.
Gamer time. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, let's get into them.
So we have done 2 prior episodes about our New Year's Ressies.
Mm-hmm.
The reference point for this one is going to be the episode 31 Zen Cole in Monk's Robes with 10 decks. So
oh man, I completely forgot that was the origin of that meme. Was
I know
Ressie to go down in decks?
Because, well, let me tell you, that shit failed. So
damn, Vine boom his ass.
Oh no. Yeah. So, you want to go listen to that episode where Audacity fucking tricked Quinn? Go listen to that as the reference point. I'm sure there's like a time thing or a thing on whatever. Anyway, we got a few to go over. I didn't bring as many as you did to the table, and I think I'm bringing more my own to the table this year. So
absolutely,
let's start off
you are
with yours and talk about the things that you had on the docket that if you did or did not do, and then we'll have a little back and forth.
So first things first, we always try and resolve a big dumb spell as my New Year's resolution, because the joke of resolving a big spell anyway. And we had Worst Fears and Heartless Conscription on the list for both of these. And gamers, we did not cast a single one of either of them. I've completely slept on Heartless Conscription this year, just not paying it any attention at all on the board wipe slot. I'm on the just Blasphemous Act. I'm playing a lot of red these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
sorry,
really...
Gonti. Your 8-mana spell kind of sucks.
It doesn't suck. It is an exile board wipe, so like there's merit. Yeah, no. There's like I get it, right? Like, but yeah, there's
when
a
it
lot
comes
of merit.
to
I just didn't resolve it.
Yeah.
Didn't even try to resolve it.
Worst Fears? Not a sight, not a whisper, fucking nothing.
Yeah, I don't care about that card as much.
Yeah, unfortunately, you shifted gears for a multitude of reasons that we'll be going over here in a bit. But
yeah. So the other resies that we had were make a more serious commitment to a discard deck. And this one I think we did pretty well. We accomplished that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We have Aclazots and Jekt, both of the discard Voltron archetype that I've like decided to marry together.
It's ethical because I'm killing you quick.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. The thing about Discard Voltron is it's not a very good content deck, so I don't play it on Lexicon a whole bunch or on other streams. So I'm kind of just doing that in either the spots where my friends have the robust card advantage packages and can have a game after I've like done the thing with the cards that say discard a card, or we do it on MTGO where it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, that is the thing, is that in the world of mixed, like, there's the in-person stuff and then there is the streamed / recorded stuff. And I remember reading recently something from Jim LePage. He put something out, I think, on Reddit about like, hey, if we're recording this stuff and we're trying to get X mini games in a recording day in our new fancy smancy recording studio, we better make that shit entertaining as possible. And 20 board wipes.deck is not fucking entertaining. So
the deck of your opponents don't have a hand and can't take game actions. Also, probably not particularly entertaining to watch, even if I am killing you quickly.
I draw a card, and it's the card that I either play because it's the only card in my hand, or Quinn is going to make me discard it, and it's a rough and a hard place when it's a counterspell.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, I go to combat and I attack, and you discard the card. Fuck. So yeah, I think at least, yeah, for our more private games where you can get away with a little more bullshit when you're not under the stressful gaze of a watcher, yeah, it still sucks, but at least you can kind of laugh about it, or at least cuss someone out real bad.
Yep.
Quinn, what the fuck?
You can always cut my fucking head off as soon as you get the opportunity.
Yeah, can't let that happen. But yeah, you did manage to successfully look into that.
So yeah, I feel like I've thoroughly explored Black's color identity with the way that it does discard, and that was the main goal of that, was to feel that out. And as it turns out, I'm a fucking sicko, and I like that.
Yep. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you found a way. You found a way that appeals to your sensibilities.
Yeah. So our last New Year's Ressie that I had was to maybe go harder on extra combats, and we absolutely did that thanks to the motherfucking Genji glove from Final Fantasy. Cole in particular pointed this out to me, where he just like slipped into the DMs with the picture of the Genji glove and another picture of the like eyebrow raised guy, like, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, just like, what is the one way that we can single-handedly guarantee that Empress Quinn could get on this shit?
Give me a very cool knife.
But it's not actually
that shit on everything.
It really does. It does so much. Holy.
Yeah.
Gotta
like
double
a
punch you
damage
and
quadrupler is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I will not say, like, I will get myself a Genji glove. I think someone in LCP even said something about Genji glove today, or I read about it somewhere, and I was like, yeah, could have told you fucking that it was fucking cracked as hell. But yeah, that was one single way for you to freaking get on that fucking thing and freaking sail it off into the new year forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, man. Nailed that. I will be continuing to play Genji Glove until we get bored of it. Sometimes you just need to put somebody in the dirt, and Genji Glove is so good at it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so what were your last years and how'd you stack up?
Well, so because it was hard to kind of quantify what I wanted to do for myself when the immediate upcoming goal was to get the fuck out of my mold-ridden, crumbling apartment with crazy people living there.
Yeah, I'm glad you're out of there, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So the only goal, and the goal fucking failed like halfway through the year when like Final Fantasy or like Edge of Eternities came out, or really take your pick, because 2025 was fucking stacked, Lower deck count, mission fucking failed. We'll get them next time, question mark. So as I had said, that I was starting at 40 decks, and I was getting low. I think I got about to 33 or 34. And then Tarkir Dragonstorm came out, and Aether Drift and all that other stuff. So it was like, great crap. We're going to start, I do my thing of take 2 decks apart, make one as a form of compromise. And the unfortunate thing was then I just started making more and more decks than I was taking off the shelf. Final Fantasy came out, make Clive, Dion, Jill, Omega, Sephiroth. I think that's about it. And it still doesn't feel like quite enough. But the long and short of it is we immediately went back up to 40. So, we're running it back. This time I'm going to attempt to really earnestly go down to 30 decks. I currently have, as the time of this recording, 11 decks on my desk.
That's quite a few.
And some other stuff that just some stuff needs to be desleeved. I'm taking apart a bunch, and I'll go over which ones later when we actually authentically talk about the Ressies. Because some of it kind of coincides here. But I really do need to just be like, some of these mono red decks and like a bunch of monocolor decks are on the chopping block. Those Final Fantasy decks that I just kind of ran through. The only one that's really sticking around is Sephiroth. Clyde, like the reality is that a lot of the commanders do need to be like reallocated into the 99. Like if I'm going to make another mono red deck, I need to put the 2 that I got up there together. I want to take Urabrask/Exile Matter stuff and probably put that tech into Zuko, etc., etc. So I just need to fold a bunch of stuff in, start as much from scratch as possible. And we'll go over what I'm going to do in the future once we do authentically hit the what are we doing. So let's go over the 2026 New Year's Ressies about what are we looking to do and what are you looking to do this new calendar year?
I think my biggest one is to make sure that all of my needs are met before playing Commander. I have got to stop playing while hungry. I should just eat lunch first.
Oh, no. So what I'm hearing is you've gotten salty as fuck, and part of that is because you're not taking care of your ass.
I don't know about salty as fuck, but I'm definitely just like lower energy and not as present and engaged with the game as I could be. And that's like, I'm not offering the full gaming experience that gamers are like deserved when we sit down to the game. And I should make sure that I can do that for them.
Yeah. I think it probably goes without saying, is that a lot of your ability to... All right, let me back this thought up a bit here. So not factoring in altered states of being, because you can have your silly drunken / high commander games and, whatever, do whatever you want as long as like you're having fun, you're not putting yourself in danger or just being completely off your fucking rocker. But the reality is that being hydrated, eating, gotta have your blood sugars level, and God forbid sleep, really does go a long way in how you deal not only with just playing the game, but also possibly whatever assault you might be dealing with, because maybe sometimes you go to bed angry and you wake up, you're like, wow, that was fucking stupid. I should have just maybe not had that last game and called it, We a few weeks ago, I think just before the New Year's, we had one last game to call a night. And, we really should have just called it there because we were fucking dragging ourselves over the edge. I was like, I got one more. And then like you are slumped in your chair and you are not sitting up properly. And you're like, holy fuck, you know what? I should have been way smarter about this. So,
I did not actually have one more. In fact, I am turning into a pumpkin here at the table.
And that's the thing, like right now, like even doing the podcast for as many hours as sometimes we can do it, and all this other stuff, like doing streams for like 4 or 5 hours, like you're freaking crazy if you're coming in without some way of like being energized. And that's not just like, oh, I'm going to knock back a freaking Coca-Cola or tea or coffee or an energy drink or whatever. Like you need to properly take care of all your needs and everything. And you need to make sure everyone's on the same boat. That's why you always see those freaking hydrate redemptions on streams, because people are not fucking drinking their water.
They do be forgetting to drink their water.
So, yeah. That's a pretty good one. I can get behind that. I can fucking sign off on that one. That seems like a pretty swell idea.
Hell yeah. All right. That's my one. So what do you have for me?
Okay. So as part of the let's get the number down thing, this is going to be a little controversial, or at least something that seemingly kind of contrasts it. But I think I need to be more okay with making temporary short-term decks to explore concepts and then to take them apart as easily. I'm obviously one to keep decks around for very long term. For example, one of the decks on the chopping block right now is my Ronus the Indomitable Fight Club deck. Normally it's like, oh, I'm going to keep that on the shelf for whatever. And it's like, the reality is, what am I saving it for? It's mostly just for me.
So that you can look at your trophy of your pile of removal.
Something like that. But yeah, so the reality is, if people always have like decks that they do want to keep around long term. People have like, yeah, I've had this deck for like a decade, even if it's kind of like a Ship of Theseus situation where maybe the original core is no longer there or whatever, right? But I just need to be okay of sitting down and de-sleeving a deck and being able to move on, while also being like, I'll just pull the trigger on this concept, put it together, play it for maybe the next 10 games or something with a bunch of different people, and then just try to like move on. And if it doesn't work, I should just sit down, de-sleeve it, tuck that stuff away, and move on to the next thing, rather than holding on to it, hoping that I like get something out of it.
Yeah, they're definitely printing enough legends that as soon as you find another one, you can just get to brewing that.
Yeah, so like, you know, maybe I don't de-sleeve everything, although maybe I still should. But it's like, oh, hey, this thing came up, I think I will do that, you know? So I don't know. That's, I think, looking as an example of that Maria architect equipment, like, hey, Gruul equipment, fuck it, why not, right? But if that's not going to be working out for me, I should probably just de-sleeve it and just move on. That's it, no problem.
Yeah.
So I think that'll just be a way to like keep my stuff down. And yeah,
I'm excited to seeing flavor of the week decks from you.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like I think taking kind of again a page out of your book, because you always seem to be bringing something new to the table. You do like consuming your slop, as we have been phrasing it for the last little bit.
Delectable.
Just to like really kind of engage more. Like right now, like I said, I'm looking at a set and I'm just not sure what to think about it. And the reality is I do just need to get in there. Whether that means it's like Bree specifically, maybe it's another legend that I haven't given much attention to. I just need to sit down, play it out if I'm able to, quickly just throw something together. Maybe to try and make sure just do mostly exclusively cards off my desk if able to, and then just move on. And yeah, just kind of go from there. So that's what I'm going to be doing as one of my own for the next little bit. What is another one of yours?
I told you, man. That's my one. You've got three here. Let's get
shit.
through them.
Fuck. All right. I thought it was going to be okay. I was going to be a little more thorough. All right.
Nope. just those.
keeping yourself humble, making it easy for yourself.
Literally, yes. You had the one resolution last year. Now it's my turn.
All right. Big question mark on this next one.
Right.
But meet your Canadian mutuals 2026 question mark.
Yes. That's so crucial.
I know Benoit keeps bugging me about getting my passport, and yeah, okay, I should. I know. I've been saying that for years. We'll see if I do it this time around, but probably not. The compromise of the idea of travel is like, all right, if time and money permits, and I kind of wish I knew ahead of time. Like, okay, I know Benoit and Mike they were telling me like, hey, like, you know, we were thinking, or an idea was floated by that instead of going out to a big face-to-face games event or whatever, we instead like get an Airbnb or go wherever, do whatever, somewhere in Toronto or something.
Yeah, we rent an Airbnb for a week. We get a bunch of fucking Canadian Magic
Well, okay,
the Gathering
get a
players
week.
who follow each other on wherever in the same place. And okay, maybe not a week, but like a weekend, something like that. We get you all there and you all play Magic the Gathering in person on the tables in that place. And then you, I don't know, post pictures about it on the internet.
Yeah. I think that'd just be super, super fun. A better use of my time and money if I was able to do that. I kind of wish that like, if the thing about this stuff is that like, it's unless everyone was on board to start making plans like late last year or like around October, I'd be able to put my vacation time down and then I could just go. But in this case, it's more like if I can go on a weekend and I can just be like, cool, whatever, throw it on the credit card, get my air ticket, go there for the weekend, put money down, whatever. I don't care. So yeah, that would be really cool. That one's far more elusive. If I meet any other kind of mutual in the next calendar year, I wouldn't consider it to be impossible, or unlikely, because, you know, we, Steph and Brad were talking about, they're going to, the face-to-face games event next month.
That seems like an easy way to meet some mutuals.
Still really don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or if I want to do that. It's just, I don't know. There's just, the thing is, I'm like, if there's certainty with the more people that like I know I'd love to go. I know that like, you know, the Spike Feeders and a few other people for I think Loading Ready Run are going. And I think that'd be super cool and fun to do, but I just kind of wish I had more notice or more time to do it, because like I would have totally have loved to like try to plan an Airbnb with someone like. But regardless, chances are never zero. But I'll put that on the table, and then we review in a year and be like, well, nothing fucking happened, Cole. Good job. And then let's to contrast this with a much more realistic one. I think maybe I will allow myself to play Game Changers and maybe Tutors and allow decks to be stronger.
Well.
I'm not necessarily saying it's like a notice trend or anything. But, you know, I quote unquote have morals, and other people do not have the moral scruples to just run whatever the fuck they want to.
Yeah, you hang out with people who like racket threes and will spend their full Game Changers budget.
Yeah. I am a good deck builder, but I can't keep riding on the backs of just bracket lists, of Game Changer list bracket 3 lists. I think maybe I should just tap into those resources a little more, whether or not I necessarily have them, but that's a whole other thing. So the first early compromise on that is this 4-color Braille list with fucking
the good equipment tutors.
Yeah. That's the first step. The next step, who knows, like maybe I will actively choose to put a Psych Rift in a deck or something, you know? Yeah. A friend of mine from work recently who, I don't know, his tendency to open packs, he got like the Edge of Eternity's tomb, Ancient Tomb.
Oh, the Ancient Tomb, sick.
And I was just like, shit. And he's like, yeah, what should I do with it? Like, should I sell it or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Cause like, One, it's cool. It's fucking cool looking. And when are you going to be getting another one, right? But then, you know, he also was like, well, I could also get several Shocklands and a few other cards for like what I'd be trading in. And I'm like, well, when you put it that way, I can totally get behind that, right? But then
Yeah, absolutely.
I was also thinking, I'm like, fuck, like, you know, unless they managed to print out a bunch of Ancient Tombs out the wazoo like crazy to like just radically drop its price, which I really don't anticipate happening. I wouldn't mind having like an Ancient Tomb for Odric or something, like if I was going to put it in a deck, right? So I need to go over the Game Changer list, and I need to take a look at the decks that I'm taking off my shelf and taking apart. And I'm going to have to see if there's like any Game Changers that I'd be willing to play and not just be like, well, I don't want to play it because I have morals or whatever. But I think I just
you deserve a Jesk as well.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot, you know. I'll see what I can do. So we'll see how that goes. But this is the start of it, and now we will see what my next steps are in the following months.
Sounds good.
Besides, I got all those super blinged out Stoneforge Mystics for whatever goddamn reason, so I might as well
have the playset of Game Day promos.
No, I have 2 of them. I don't have a full playset. That's freaking insane. But
that
I
would
do
be insane, yes.
But I do have 2. Now the question is, what the fuck do I do with the second one besides like, I don't know, selling it or using it in
Put it in another white deck and grab a Sword of Hearth and Home. You know what the fuck it is. Put it in the deck that's using the Sword of Hearth and Home, actually.
I guess it's Odric then. I guess it's Odric. I'm trying to think of like the other one, and it's fucking, hold on, Sephiroth maybe? I'll get back to you on that one in a sec here, but yeah. So yeah.
Stoneforge and Sephiroth, where you've already got the Blink tech? Okay, I see you. And the equipment or modifications? Okay, I see you.
Hold on. Do Sword of Hearth and Home. Cole, edit this out, question mark? That is definitely not where that fucking sword is. No, hold on.
This is why you gotta keep meticulous records.
Okay, no, it's not there. And you're totally right. I guess I could also put it in Radun Hagadun, because if I'm flickering,
it's also a very good spot for it.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see how things change by doing that, because the flicker tech in that deck is kind of fucked up. The other Sword of Hearth and Home is currently in the Imscure Iron Eater deck, and that is not compatible. So that is not where that's going. So yeah, I think I figured that one out.
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah, those are my 3 New Year's Ressies. Gonna have to see how that works out. So yeah, we'll check in.
I believe in you. I think these equipment tutors at least are going to be a good play pattern for you for at least a little bit. And maybe we see like a cheeky vamp tutor. I don't know.
Okay, let's not push it that far.
Yeah, you don't want to find the perfect answer on somebody's end.
I would have to get one. I would have to get one, and I don't want to do it.
That's fair.
I have Grim Tutor? I have Grim Tutor and what's the sack one? The 2-mana sack one.
Diabolic Intent?
I have Diabolic Intent.
Is that one a game changer? I don't think that one's a game changer.
No, because I think they did. Anyway, tutors and everything, regardless if they're game changers or not. We'll find out where the compromise is, and if it's demonic tutor. No, that's not shit. It's not happening. Demonic tutor? Diabolic. Whatever. Anyway, hit that fucking elevator music, not for a soapbox, but for vibes-based storytelling time.
Yeah.
All right. Turn the lights down. Turn your fucking music off. It's time to listen to Empress Quinn telling us about Lorwyn Eclipsed via vibes-based storytelling.
Yeah, so once again, gamers, they have gifted us with an absolutely delicious series of, I think, 7 stories. So we're going to talk about these. We are not going to talk about the side stories because we only have so much time here, and we have already been here for a minute. So yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, how does that sound?
Yeah, you said 9 pages?
Yeah, about that.
All right.
Yeah, lock in. All right,
We're
so
in for a
chapter
ride.
1 of this is Out of This Wood. We do the typical meet our Blorbos and then show them the horrors. So at the beginning, we've got Kirol, a they, them. They're a vampire, and they're a little bit of a prankster, like to sneak up on Abigail and scare her. And they also like a little bit of sass. We've got Senar, he, him, a goblin. He's chaotic even for a goblin. He's a Prismari student, and man, he's good at explosions. We've got Tamira, who goes by Tam, and she, her. She's a Gorgon. She's probably hiding something that'll be plot relevant later. She's pretty shrouded in mystery. And maybe the most put together, and I feel like that's probably related to whatever she's hiding in her backstory. And then we have Abigail, she, her. She's an owlin, and she's deaf, so she speaks in sign language, and that gets magically broadcast into people's thoughts.
That's actually pretty sick. Good. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's so sick. It's also plot relevant later, so we'll get there. We're moving into showing our Blorbos the horrors. So Dina of Soul Steeper fame takes these students on a field trip into the wood to gather snarl flowers. They're ones that haven't been exposed to magic via proximity to the campus, so they gotta take a bit of a hike. Our Blorbos get filtered into a sort of clearing after like not running, but like exploring and looking for the flowers for a bit. They all like end up in the same place. And then a fairy shows up. They don't know it's that though, because they've never seen one before. And our lovely goblin Senar chases off after it, taking Tam's snarl flowers with them. She is one of the more put together ones, so obviously she's like, fuck dude, my grade. And then the homie Kural takes off after the basket to get those back for her, like, I'll do it. And then Tam and Abigail follow after those two because the Blorbos have to stay together for plot reasons and also because you're deep in the woods, don't fucking run off alone.
Yeah, no fucking kidding. Regardless of how old all these characters are.
Yeah, they're like all college age, but still, whoops. So the fairy flies through the woods and leads them, how'd that omen path get there? Our Blorbos do a big slip and fall into this place. And the environment looks completely different. There are a lot of spirals everywhere. It's a little stressful to see shapes in things after the Phyrexian invasion made the Phi symbol show up everywhere, but it's actually fine. Even in like our world, like the human world, spirals are shapes that nature likes and makes pretty often, and they're pretty prevalent on Lorwyn Shadowmoor and on Avishkar. You can see in the basic lands for both of those places, like spirals they show up a lot. So we land near a dolmen gate. EDH Power 9 mentioned. That card's fucking busted.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Didn't they reprint that? Sorry, unrelated. They reprinted that, didn't they?
I think it's on the special guest sheet or something like that.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, not a real reprint that's gonna bring the holy fuck $42.
All right, I'm gonna keep continuing to play Iroh's God of Victory, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, got a reprint on the list, which is not a real reprint, basically. But then there's the special guest for Lorwyn and the secret lair drop with Karlach.
Yeah, I do remember that one, yeah.
Fuck, dude. Anyway. Yeah, so this Dolmen Gate leads into some impossible fucking darkness. Like, they're standing in the middle of daylight where they land, and it is deep night inside there. But Dolmen Gates mark places, according to Tam, I think, usually graves or places of residence. And if it's a place of residence, then there's somebody there who can maybe help our Blorbos get home. So they all head in. They find themselves in a cave, even though the Dolmen Gate on the other side was freestanding and didn't have any, like, walls or anything supporting it. So they're, like, in a different fucking place. But there's depictions of a moon-headed creature and a sun-headed creature, and they're, like, dance, and it's, like, the cycle of day and night.
Mm-hmm.
And they walk deeper into the cave, and holy shit, there it is. That's the moon-headed beast. It smells like night complimentary, like all of the cozy things about, like, going for a night in the brisk autumn air and the crunch of leaves and the gentle smell of frost and, like, all of that. Like it is all of that descriptor. And you get that feeling from being near it. And Sonar, our lovely chaos goblin, immediately wants to go touch it and, like, walks towards the, like, it's got a, like, weird circle surrounding it that, I don't know if it's, like, a bed or a containment circle.
Or, like, a phase circle or something or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But either way, it marks a very, like, clear barrier in between you and the beast, and you're probably not supposed to cross that. Our goblin immediately wants to go cross that, so Tam's, like, grabs his hand and stops the guys, like, no, dude. Senar nods, and she releases him, and then he immediately walks back into the circle.
What a little fucking shit.
Just fucking tilts me into the sun. Ugh. And he just, like, we get the descriptor of the way the beast smells and how it makes the, like, air around you feel and all of the, like, pleasant things about night. Dude doesn't know he's going to touch it until he does, and then he does, and the vibe immediately changes. The beast roars and wakes up, and it smells like night derogatory, like everything that's bad and terrifying about night. That's immediately what the vibe shifts to.
Yeah,
and we are like,
chilly as fuck, wet, damp, darker than all hell, I imagine.
Yeah,
and
things lurking in the shadows, like that kind of vibe.
Why are we on Innistrad? By touching the sky,
immediately
fuck.
just, like, become the fucking worst experience of nighttime. So hey, maybe don't get on the night beast's bad side. It leaves the cave. Night literally trails in its wake. You can see that this thing is unbelievably powerful. Our Blorbos take the hint and they fucking leave too. That fairy from earlier who led them into the Omen Path, he is basking in the shadow, and its form changes. They're so much more pleased with their Shadowmoor look, too. They've got a regal cape and a crown-shaped crest on their head. I would probably be pretty enthused if I was dripped out like that and I was a fucking normal ass fairy in my other form.
I'm tripped the fuck out of my mind. Like, oh wow, damn, I should get some of that Shadowmoor shit.
Yeah. I mean, it fucking depends. You never really know what you're going to be like on the other side, and you don't always have the same memories in between.
Are you going to be
places.
You're going to be a rude ass motherfucker? You know, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't fucking know. So we move to chapter 2, Shake Off the Slumber. Here's where our Blorbos go and seek aid because they need some fucking help, my guy. There's a patch of daylight amidst that sudden night, and the Blorbos instinctively know that they should stay in those because those felt good, and being in the night did not feel good. So they rush from, like, the lights in Gears of War? And you gotta, like, move in between those in the first one.
So I did not play that game series.
Why is this the reference that I get?
Because I didn't have an Xbox 360, so I did not play any of the Gears games.
They're on Windows now, aren't they?
I don't fucking know. They were not under. I am not getting on the coal train. Let me tell you that.
Mids right there.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so completely missed reference aside.
Anyway, yeah, completely misread. All my Gears of War heads in the chat sound the fuck off. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The streetlights are exactly that experience. The sun on Lorwyn is where you want to be if you are from there, and the night on Shadowmoor is where you do not want to be if you are not from there. So, yeah, that's that experience. And they're moving from like daylight bubble to daylight bubble, and in one of these there's a Kithkin, and they're like beckoning them over to like, hey, come this way. They're like, hey, they're in the daylight and they like to be there and they want us to come there, so we should probably follow suit because they know what the fuck is up and we don't have any fucking clue. Side note, oh, hang on, yeah, we need to introduce her. This is Bridget, you know, from Old Lorwyn Shadowmoor.
You know, Bridget, hero of Kinsbale.
Yes, exactly. That's the card. Side note, I don't know, we colloquially refer to the plane as Lorwyn, but that's only half of it, and it's both halves always. And erasing Shadowmoor in the name it's giving Unin propaganda, you know? That makes sense to all of my Lorwyn Shadowmoor old heads in the chat who knows the old story. Maybe we'll get to explaining that in here. I think we covered a portion of that, but it's not revealed until now. But I'm going to be normal about that and call the whole thing Lorwyn Shadowmoor probably. Anyway. Bridget explains that since the Phyrexian invasion, folks have been falling down tunnels and ending up here in Lorwyn Shadowmoor. And they're omen paths. She calls them tunnels because she doesn't know what else to call them.
There's no other way to
omen
phrase
paths.
it. Yeah.
And she like goes out and I guess like picks up the strangers and brings them back and either helps them get where they're going or helps them find like a place to live.
She's
here.
a guide. She's a guide. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like doing her guide work. Yeah, exactly. She also tells us that the night elemental's name is Isilu, and she tells us that it is a night elemental. So we get all of that like lore dumped right there. We're looking up in the sky at the omen path where they fell through, and night swallows that omen path that we came through. And if we're gonna go home, we gotta go somewhere else.
Crazy. Okay.
So immediately we cut to another part of the plane. We're, I think, on Lorwyn here, in the court of the Fae Queen. That little shit stir from earlier flies into a patch of sun to get Lorwynified again and heads on home into the home of the fairies, Glenelendra. It actually describes that his level of enthusiasm for stepping into the sunlight to get Lorwynified is like the same level of enthusiasm that criminals have when they're approaching the gallows. And man, that was a fucking imagery. This guy hates the sun.
Almost as bad as a vampire.
Yeah, he's like, I am fucking whack on Lorwyn, and I am tripped out on Shadowmoor, and I will not be in the sun if I don't have to. So that's where he is on that. So our little shitster picks up a little sprig of foxglove and flies into the palace of the fairies and the Fae Queen, Marilyn, while she's like napping, and drops a sprig of foxglove on her forehead and then pieces out. And Marilyn wakes up from a nightmare and brushes petals off of her forehead and is like, what the fuck? How did this foxglove get here? What is going on? She's immediately like her entourage, I guess, of 35 chosen servants of hers, the fairies, they share some concerns. They have 35 chosen servants, and one of their number is missing. No one's seen him for days, but the flock moves like 35, and someone's been using his bed and been in his place.
Oh, huh, okay.
Is our little shitster an imposter? Is the imposter sus?
Amogus sus? What?
I think so. They're playing Among Us right now, dude. Anyway, we don't have any fucking time to dwell on that because Reese busts in. Yeah, you know, Reese from Old Lorwyn Shadowmoor. This is the part where you applaud in the sitcom audience because the recurring guest showed up.
Yeah.
He's canonically hot, and he's way older than any other elf on the plane, and he's got the horns to match. They're fucking massive. They do mention that it's a glamour, though, because his horns were broken in his Lorwyn form, and he only has horns in his Shadowmoor form. So they're like a projected image of what his horns would be.
A glamour to make him look quote unquote complete and not have busted ass horns.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah, he's got big long horns and he's canonically hot. So that's the description that we get of this guy. We get an exposition dump here. Marilyn is born of Una in that she like plucked a flower petal off of her and turned that into Marilyn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And always at risks of becoming Una because of the way that fairy reproduction works or something like that.
Oh, is this like
Maybe
some weird
Una?
fucking like genetic predisposition to just become that thing again?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like I know a media comparison. Oh, fucking Naruto. Moving on. Go ahead. Let's not worry about that and move on. That's still sick. That's still fucking awesome. That's a weird lore thing.
Yeah, we get we get the information that she's got this like death pact with Reese because Una was impossibly bad, and if she turns into Una, then Reese has to fucking kill her. We can't let Una come back for any reason. And Homegirl catches a glimpse of Una in the mirror, which is startling to her. And Reese notices that she's startled, but he like asks her, like, Mara, like, uses a pet name that has the shippers in the chat writing delicious, tragic, doomed romance fanfic. Oh yeah, there's something there. So we go into the garden and apparently we can just give Erdu a little pap and chill next to it for a bit because apparently this plane's manifestation of the concept of day just hangs out in the garden, in the courtyard in Glen Elendra on occasion.
Okay, cool. Sick. So the plot relevant thing being is right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, so here's our day elemental and it's just fucking chilling here. And I am a fucking reptile. I read this description of what it's like to be beloved of Erdu was to be beloved of the sun in all its impossible vastness, is what it says in the text here. And as a reptile, I fucking need that.
You were like, I need this warm/hot sun on my body at all times.
Yeah, that would feel so fucking good.
Quinn, I'm telling you to put a fucking shirt on. For the love of God. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I thought it was funny. We were like, oh yeah, it was this degrees out. And you were like, I would be fucking dying. And I'm like, I am roasting. Don't get that part. Anyway, so back to the story.
Yeah, back to the story. So they're just chilling next to the elemental. They're doing the recon mission, trying to find that missing fairy. And she's like, okay, I'll stay here in the palace until you tell me you found him. And so they're doing that, and she's just chilling next to Erdu because that's a good spot to be. And Erdu like does the like cat thing of get up and stretch and then walk off somewhere. And we're like, all right, see you later, Erdu. And when Erdu walks off, that little blue fairy from earlier, our little shitster, dives into that patch of Shadowmoor that's now allowed to open up, and once again, reveling in his dripped-out Shadowmoor form. Hey, so Lily's here, and so's a friend.
Oh, okay. Hey, Lillian, a long time no see.
Yeah, we cut back to Strixhaven where Professor Onyx is, actually, I think she's just Professor Vess now. She probably dropped the alias. Yeah, in the text it says Professor Vess, so I think she's using the full-ass Liliana Vess name now.
Damn, she's like, yeah, I'm out in public. You know who I am. What are you going to do about it? And everyone's like, nothing.
Not a damn thing. You're a great teacher, actually.
All right.
So anyway, yeah. Johnny's here, and he knocks on the door of Lily's office. She opens the door, gasps, is completely fucking shocked to see him. Then she's very polite, invites him in, offers a beverage, but nothing stronger than like tea, because this is a school. And immediately 360 no-scopes, so who died?
Yeah, let's drop the bomb on her.
Yeah, she knows exactly what the fuck is up because she's a necromancer and people come to her when people die and she always knows the fucking look. So, yeah, 360 no-scopes that and Bro answers in one word, just Jace. And there's a pause so long that Ajani's like, Liliana, did you hear me? And immediately she's like, well, obviously Jace isn't dead. I ain't seen no body, and just like all of that. So, immediately after that happens, she gets told that also Bolus escaped. So we're really on some worst possible scenario type shit. Dina barges in and lets Professor Vest know that there are 4 students missing. So we send Ajani on the case.
Well, you know what? I guess since we don't have Garrick, we're going to send the next green related planeswalker to get the kids.
Well, he's white in this set, so
I know. I've seen his planeswalker card. He's very mid. Let's move on.
Oh, how rude. That card seems fine.
I'm sure it is fine. He's just kind of there. Anyway, Ajani, let's get on the case.
Yeah, so Chapter 3, A Weary of This Moon. Johnny's on the case. Dina leads them to where they were before they vanished. Dina is fucking panicking internally. I will never be allowed to supervise students again. I don't even like doing that, but not even having the option is fucked. So yeah, she's doing that internal panic. Johnny gets there and picks up some like flowers that they were around in that area, and they reek of Lorwyn Shadowmoor. So he's telling Professor Vest that he's definitely smelled this before. He knows where they come from. And she's like, bro, cut to the chase. And he's like, okay, it's Lorwyn Shadowmoor. And she's like, all right, what are we going to do about that then? And Johnny's like, all right, so do you want your students or your bride? And she's like, my students, without even fucking thinking. And so he's like, all right, cool, then I'm gonna dip out and I can't take you with me. We'll be back, peace. And then disappears in a flash of light. And Lily's like, are we all like that dramatic?
Lily, are you fucking kidding me? The lack of self-awareness? Come on.
Girl, yes.
Yeah, the answer
you
is
are
yes.
All like that.
Like, what? That's not even a question.
Oh, fuck, that's funny. Our Blorbos, they go to Gold Meadow. Bridget takes them to the main Kithkin city, that's Gold Meadow, and sets them down in a meeting hall to get some fucking answers. Our Blorbos explain how they got here, that a fairy led them here, and we learn right here, actually, that this is a fairy. And upon learning that, we're like, Sinar's like, hey, can fairies talk? And Bridget's like, yeah, why? And he fucking points at our little shit stirrer, who apparently has been here the whole time, and is like, well, why don't we just ask them? The fairy laughs and does not explain shit.
As expected of a fake creature.
And this is also where we learn that Marilyn is the queen of fairies of both Lorwyn and Shadowmoor, not just one half. And she can find out what the fuck this fairy's doing and why it led them there, because she's in charge of them. We also... yeah, so that's where we're going to go get help. Immediately after we find all of that out, though, we get some clanging alarms from outside, and it turns out that our night elemental, Isilu, is literally walking around outside the city walls. This is a place that's like anchored in day. Night doesn't really come around these parts too much, so we freak the fuck out. And night itself is outside of our gates.
Hey, you know that thing that shouldn't be happening? Yeah, it's fucking happening.
Yeah, Bridget lets us know that shit's gonna get fucking weird, that everybody's going to turn into completely different people, and that there are nomads in the village, and that these Kithkin are not going to take kindly to outsiders being here as soon as fucking night falls. So she warns the Blorbos that as soon as we leave this building, and like, don't listen to a word I say. I'm giving you these instructions. You need to go to this area over here. And she tells them the way to Glen Elendra, which is supposed to be hard for humans to find. Or not even humans, because there's no humans on that plane. But like,
right, yeah.
It's supposed to be difficult to get to. But Bridget knows.
I mean, it's literally, it's like the D&D Feywild, and shit makes no sense.
Yeah, Yeah, it's behind a fucking hidden waterfall and up a river and you follow this specific tributary and we get all of these directions. And then she tells us that we need to get out here and we need to run for the fucking daylight and just get to where you're going. Find Glenalendra and maybe Marilyn can help you. They also realize that we should probably tell Marilyn that the night elemental is out here walking around when it's not supposed to be. She'd probably want to know about that. The escape sequence plays out like a zombie fucking apocalypse.
Oh god, show
Yeah.
the children the horrors. Oh shit.
The Blorbos are introduced to the horrors. There's a bunch of fighting. Our Lorwyn aligned folks are trying to stay in the sun. They fight with what is described in the text as open, trusting postures, and that ends up costing them the battle because our Shadowmoor aligned folks are more suspicious and defensive and not afraid to fight a little dirtier, not afraid to drag unsuspecting Lorwyners into the shadows from behind and turning them into their Shadowmoor selves and adding to their ranks.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which is giving zombie apocalypse. So yeah, that happens there, and we just fucking book it. We leave there. When we've escaped, our Blorbos are doing so good. They review the info that they learned. They follow instructions. I think Abigail is the one that points out that the night here isn't like evil. It's just different. And the postures of the Kithkin who were night side were like, they looked scared and were fighting to defend themselves rather than any sort of like directly malicious type beat. So she's just like, I think that this plane is probably like built like this and there's a normal balance and it's fine and we should keep that balance. So yeah, they basically like have a after the experience discussion of the information that they learned over that. And then they continue on their journey. We find the Wanderwine River, which like Lorwyn heads pointing at the screen in recognition. Yeah, Wanderwine, woo, I know that name. As instructed, and Abigail flies over with Kirol. We get a bit of a vampire lore dump that really powerful vampires can fly, and Kirol's mom thinks that maybe they can too one day, but their dad says no one's ever had that power in their family. And Kirol says flying is awesome, and Abigail's like, it certainly is. We get everyone across the river and start walking again, and Kirol, who was at first the most like speedy and enthusiastic, starts fucking lagging. And eventually a silent hunter creeps out of the bush and just fucking naps them.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. So here we get a Kirol side quest. We love our sassy queen. They get questioned by the hunter, who introduces himself as Lorwyn, and Kirol always has some kind of witty retort. Lewin's like, you ran from that village and you know about the night elemental and you're going to tell me everything you know. And Kirol's like, well, first off, I know that my name is Kirol and I know that my friends are going to miss me. And
Yeah, so get that fact straight, huh?
so jot that the fuck down. And the Lewin's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? And Kirol's just, well, you asked me what I knew and everything I knew, and that's the most important thing right now. Just fucking giving sass as good as they're getting it. It's delicious. Lewin decides he's gonna take Kirol to go see a high perfect Morkant because she would like to know about this kind of thing. And so we move to chapter 4, Fetch Me That Flower. Kirol side quest continued. Lewin and Kirol go back and forth, exchanging bits of information about each other's worlds via, that's not the right name there, that should be Kirol complaining about not wearing hiking shoes and how their feet hurt, and they teach Lewin about different types of shoes and feet versus hooves, and Mage Tower, which Kirol plays and runs a bunch of laps to stay in fit for and absolutely loves. They're like, it's a sport. No, it's the sport, like the best one.
This is the best sport you never fucking heard of.
Yeah. So they're very enthusiastic about that. This, I think, is where we learn, if you didn't already know, that Lorwyn Shadowmoor elves have hooves. And Kirol's complaining about their feet hurting, and Lewin's like, my feet don't hurt at all. And yeah, you look at the hooves there.
Well, la-dee-da. You know?
Well, la-dee-da, you're fucking built for this. Anyway, they arrive in Lysolana, the elven city, and it's breathtakingly beautiful. Like, OMG, gilded wood everywhere. The whole thing fucking shines, bro. Lewin takes them to see the High Perfect and doesn't answer a whole lot of Carol's questions about what a High Perfect is and why getting to see one is an honor, because they do say that you get to see the High Perfect. It's an honor not afforded to most elves. And they're just like, bro, can you tell me anything about what's going on here?
No.
And he says no, because if you don't know right from wrong or insult from flattery, you can make mistakes, but you can't give insult. And if you insult the High Perfect, she has you killed. So this is safer. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, again, this is weird Fey world logic. Just it makes sense, bro. Trust me. Why? What's your source? The source is I made it the fuck up. Fuck.
So this is the part where I would like you all to direct your attention to the art for High Perfect Morcant. If you have not seen that, hey, she's fine as hell.
You know what? Everything between her hips to her ankles looks really good.
Yeah.
And then there's her feet, and then it's not.
That doesn't bother me as much as it does you, but that's your proclivity.
No, animal traits is no go. Human traits really good. Those whatever is on her legs, no, say no more. But anyway,
I am very much in the target audience for High Perfect Morcant's gold wrapped leggies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, Morcant appreciation moment. We got to get that out of the way because we're about to meet her, and that will indeed change things.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna read this thing, or can I read this?
Yeah, go for it.
Alrighty. Thank you for the screenshot here. Let me open this up here. Or is this cut off? Oh, it's a bit
even
cut off.
better. I'll be Morcant and you can be Kirol.
Okay. Gotcha. My name is Carol, ma'am, they said. Should they bow? They bowed. That felt wrong, but there was no way to take it back, so they worried their lower lip between their teeth and offered, I'm a student from Strixhaven. I'm not supposed to be here. Lewin found me in the woods, and he stole me so I could come and talk to you.
And are you angry about that, my young friend, with your sharp teeth and your hornless brow?
I was, but now I'm not, said Carol. If he hadn't stolen me, I wouldn't be able to look at you now. You are perfect.
I am, aren't I? She stood, hooves tapping against the floor. My name is Morcant, and I'm High Perfect here in Lysolana. You may have the honor of using my name.
Freaking
she's
jeez.
the fucking worst.
Get a load of this fucking audacity. Jeez.
So we get the lore dump, I guess. High Perfect Morcant gets the lore dump from Kirol about everything that they've experienced so far. We get the elven perspective here on the day-night cycle. Morcant thinks day good should always be day and never be night. Kirol is understandably quite creeped out because they understand that that's not quite accurate. Morcant says the areas that have been fucking visited by Asilu are lost to Shadowmoor, and we have to turn it back to day or they'll be gone for good. And Kirol's just like, I think I'm getting different historical accounts about the same event.
What's your source? I don't know. Researched and trusted? Hello? Reputable?
Yeah. So Morcant hatches a plan most vile. We take the strongest healing magic, Dawn Glow, made of the Dawn Glove flower that only grows in the dark. And side note, Dawn Glove has a daylight counterpart, Moon Glove, which produces the deadliest poison known on this plane.
I can already see where we're going with this.
Yeah, we take this very powerful healing magic and we use that to poison the night beast. We kill the night that day may reign supreme.
All right, so there's already several things wrong with this course of action.
Yes. This is so fucked. Unbelievably fucked.
Hey, what if we
Anyway,
just kill something that's a major part of this world's infrastructure? How about,
I'm sure that's fine. It won't have any unintended consequences at all.
Throws the whole world out of balance. Whatever. Anyway, all right. So what's next?
Abigail side quest. Hey, that's an ominous title.
Yep.
So the Blorbos notice that Kiral is missing. Abigail leads the efforts to go back for Kiral. She's like, they're our friend. We need to go save them. Whoops, we spooked an elemental. Abigail falls into the river in her speed to flee from the elemental. Fucking whoops, she's an owl. She's not supposed to be underwater, dude.
Nope.
So she can't fly out of that, obviously. Her magic is almost entirely based in somatic components, though, like the hand motions, so other mages might need verbal or material. She's perfectly fine to cast spells underwater, because all she has to do is move her hands. So, when she falls in, she just needs to not fucking panic and just assign herself a self-replenishing bubble of air, push that over her face, and breathe and keep it pushing. So she does that. She figures I'll just follow the current and stay alive, and then when I wash up on the shore where we met the Wanderwine the first time, I already know where I'm going, so I'll pick the case back up and meet them there. There's merfolk in them Thar waters, though. Makes sense, given the name Wanderwine. Lorwyn Shadowmoor old heads be knowing that's where they live. Anyway, the merfolk communicate with Abigail via sign language that they aren't going to hurt each other, and Abigail needs to give a message to the Fairy Queen about the night beast Asilu, and the merfolk, upon learning this, think that they have something that Abigail should see. And we cut back to Tam and Sonar. We get no further information about Abigail's side quest.
Oh, that's it?
I think so. Because we don't see her again until later.
Oh my god. All right.
We'll explain, though. It'll be fine. Anyway, back to our remaining Blorbos. Tam thinks a little bit about her teacher, who she tries not to think about, so the mind mages don't see. And I question mark. First off, there's mind mages. Second off, you have to hide this guy? Why do you have to hide this guy? Anyway, he'd want her to keep herself safe and save the most people at the same time. So continue the mission. Abigail will be fine. She's got the same instructions that we do and can follow the river in the correct direction when she washes up on shore. And she can fly. Like, this part here, Abigail will be fine. Like, all of that is reasons that I'm extrapolating from incomplete information, but it does, make sense. Like, she's an owl, so she can fly and will be able to catch up at a pretty good pace, and she knows where they're going.
Logic,
so
I get the logic. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You're also on a plane that you don't know anything about.
It feels really shitty leaving her. Absolutely everybody feels that, but they do they lay out the information, they think about it, and the correct move is probably to just continue the mission. So they do that. They find a waterfall, they go through that as instructed, and this is, I think, the end of the road that is described by Bridget in her instructions, so they're basically at the finish line, and everybody else is just going to meet up eventually. We cut to Marilyn being startled by the fairies, and they are bringing Tam and Senar to speak to her. So, they're fucking here. Marilyn's been staring into a mirror. It looks like she's slowly becoming Una in her reflection, and when she stands up to leave her dressing table, she brushes flower petals off of it, which is... Una's entirely constructed of flowers. This is not good. Also, there's this mocking laughter that only Marilyn can hear. Not fucking good.
No.
So Senar info dumps about what the fuck they've seen along the way, and Marilyn is instantly in despair. Asilu walks out of cycle. There's flower petals everywhere. Caps lock, fuck, Una's returning. And prom's tomorrow. Anyway. Reese walks in. He's got our little shit stirrer on his shoulder, and the shit stirrer is pointing and laughing at Marilyn. And Reese is like, fuck, dude, you know I gotta kill you. I fucking swore it. And lunges at her with a knife. He slips on a flower petal twice and tumbles out of the window. The fuck?
You literally did a banana peel, but it's flower petals.
Yes. The sentence after that, we look over to Tam and she's doing something geometric and glowing with her hands, and we get the explanation, probability magic.
I see.
We just manipulate the probability very slightly that this guy trips on some flower petals, because that's not an unlikely thing to happen. We just need to nudge the probability just a little bit, and we avert that crisis. That was a really cool explanation of Quandrix magic.
Cool. Love it.
So after that, we move to chapter 5, If We Shadows. And here's where our blurbos are like, we gotta escape Glenelendra. We gotta fucking go. Reese will kill Marilyn when he gets back, and she's not ready to die. We can get Isilu to chill. We can be okay, and Una won't come back. We learn here that elves have short lives, and Reese is only alive because of the magic promise that he made to slay Marilyn if she became Una. While they're explaining all of this, Marilyn makes extended eye contact with Tam, and that's a thing that Tam isn't used to, because most people where she's from know about Gorgons, and they know that you should probably not make eye contact with the Gorgon lest they turn you to stone. They don't have Gorgons here, apparently, so they can make eye contact.
As in, like, it doesn't... They are not affected by her, or they just don't know, and so they just do?
I think they don't know, so they do. But I think in addition to that, Tam doesn't have the power to turn people to stone, or at least that's mysterious. Because somebody asks, I think, what, are you going to turn me to stone? Like, as a joke, and she's like, do you want to find out? Also as a joke.
Anyway, I'm sure we'll learn more about this character at some point.
Yeah, I would like to know more about her backstory and what all she's got going on. One of the things that she mentioned was her teacher was even like afraid to make
look
eye
at her.
contact
Yeah,
with her. And they say specifically the sentence, and she couldn't hurt him even if she wanted to, which is like, what's going on here? Is that because you like him a lot? Because you are magically restrained from exercising your powers against him?
Yeah, from doing fucking, yeah.
Yeah, like what is going on here? I need to know more about your mysterious teacher, but we'll get that in probably another set or two. We meet Aisling and the boggarts of the Stink Drinker Warren when we escape. This is where we were going, actually, when we were fleeing, to meet Aisling, who was hanging out with these boggarts. They're this plane's goblins. Aisling is canonically beautiful. She's got a body made of obsidian that leaks flame at the joints in the crown, and Sonar looks at her and is like, that's if, like, fire was allowed to be a person, and that's extra pretty. And she likes this a lot, obviously.
A flatterer, say no
Just
more.
like, oh, you flatterer. Anyway, they meet all these goblins, and Sonar gets extra attention because he's a weird goblin compared to this plains goblin, and then they haul him off to learn how to fish for eels.
Cool.
Because we're going to be here for a while, and we need to get a boat together so that we can go back to, I think, the Gold Meadow. Yeah, now that we've got the Queen of the Fae, that's the last place that we saw the Night Elemental, so we want to go meet up. We learn that the elves want to, like, not we, this half of the party learns that the elves want to kill Isilu, and we have to stop that because this plane requires the balance of day and night. And Marilyn is particularly passionate about this. She's like, no, Eternal Day was Una's thing. I'm not Una. The balance is so fucking important here. Our little shit stirrers here, eavesdropping, and they're maybe troubled by something. Then they fly off. They don't explain further.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
We cut to a Johnny who lands on Lorwyn. He does an ominous touching of the ground. Something happened here type beat. The plane's out of balance. There's an elemental that rushes him in the day that's very upset. He gets into a fight with a serpent from Shadowmoor, like on rip as soon as he lands. And just has to fucking beat that guy up.
Damn.
Yeah. It's fucking hard out here. So he's like, well, shit, all right. And then we cut to Tam again. They're on the boat on their way to Gold Meadow, and she keeps sassing Marilyn for running from Reese, trying to keep his word. And it's kind of fucking rude because she doesn't truly understand the circumstances. She's like, bro, just let him kill you. And,
hey, whoa.
yeah, basically. She did not understand that Una literally made Marilyn, and she didn't understand the risk of her turning into her, and she didn't understand how fucking bad that would be because she didn't know that Una fucking broke the world when she manipulated the Great Aurora. All of that is extremely fucking evil. So yeah, there's there's that. She's enlightened about the stakes now. We also learn that Marilyn has a brother, and Una did him quite fucking dirty. She, the fairy boy got attached to a giant and treated him like a father figure, and Una had the giant killed. And the boy swears he'd never forgive her and fucks off forever. Our little shit stirrer fairy has been listening in and looks like it wants to say something to Marilyn, but we're interrupted. Because it turns out that half of the river up ahead is in Shadowmoor. Fuck. So they decide to get out and walk from there, I think. We cut back to Morkant continuing to be the worst. Kiral gets sent to the Guildleaf Wood into a dark patch to pick some of that Dawnglow flower that we talked about earlier. They make it there and back, but they're chased by cinder elementals, and it's fucking harrowing, and now they're at the door, basically. They know they're coming now, so they'll fucking die if they try that again. Morkant simply presses the issue and misgenders Kiral and gets corrected and doubles down and orders them out there again.
Wow,
Morkant
really is
worst.
Terrible. Fuck.
She's so bad. They had to make her fucking awful to balance out how fucking fine she is.
They're like, hey, check this shit out. Everyone's like, awooga, check the most horrible person you know.
Yeah, she's just so evil.
God damn it.
Lewin understands the stakes, though, and will not send Kiral out there to their certain death. They're like, no, they don't deserve to die like that. It's at this point that a Johnny bursts in, and he takes Kiral and fucks off into the forest, and there's basically nothing that Morkant can do. She's like, excuse me?
So did a Johnny literally, like, just grab Kiral, fucking threw them over his shoulder, and then just, like, ran off?
Not literally that, but he does literally just bust in, be like, hey, I'm a Johnny, I'm a friend.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, it is that type beat.
Shit, I guess.
And we need to fucking go. And he takes Kiral and fucks off into the forest. And Lewin's like, you know what? I'm following. New Blorbo? Maybe?
Interesting. Okay.
So we cut back to Tam and Sinar, and the Kithkin surround the party. We're not in the business of, it's not just, Tam and Sinar. They've got Aisling and Marilyn, so like that's the party now. I didn't make a note of it, but we do get a transformation sequence when Aisling steps across the border from Lorwyn into Shadowmoor, because the goblins on the boat, they're like, dude, I'm not going in there. Which, like, understandable, so they have to continue on foot. And Aisling and Marilyn are not going to, or not at Marilyn, Aisling got some, like, elemental magic that means she doesn't lose her memories in between Lorwyn and Shadowmoor. She's able to walk between the two, and it's fine. So she said, as long as you stay within my light, you should remember who you are. And, like, obviously the people who aren't fucking from here don't have to worry about that, but Marilyn does have that concern. So she gets to stay in her daylight form. I don't know if we have a nighttime form for her. I don't know if we ever see one. Yeah, she stays close to Aisling. And we get surrounded by Kithkin. Yeah. We aren't in the business of fighting them, though, and they aren't, like, fighting us. We're just getting herded somewhere, so we get herded along to where they're leading us. They take us past the city and further into the Shadowmoor, and it feels like night complimentary. Where did we get that feeling before? Oh shit, it's a Silu, and they're just walking along toward us. And oh shit, that's our little shit stirrer with it. And in this moment, Marilyn recognizes our little shit stirrer now that he's in his Shadowmoor form. He's been her long-lost brother this whole fucking time.
Of course. How convenient.
How convenient. Unfucking believable. Also, oh fuck, the elves.
Wait, the problem.
On the horizon. Yeah, basically. The elves are here to kill Asilu. The Kithkin will not fucking have the elves in their fields. And so it's battle time. We get to chapter 6, full of hateful fantasies, and our lines are drawn. Our Kithkin are stanced up and defending. Our elves are stanced the fuck up and advancing. And our little shitster makes it over to Marilyn and the party with the Silu. And our shitster fucking continues to panic. They're just like circling a Silu while all of this is going on. Aisling steps in front of our students who are like directly on Asilu's path and just like meets the beast and stares it down, and Asilu stares her down, and they establish handshake protocol, and it like sniffs her, and its breath smells like night, complimentary, and it starts circling our party and scowling at the advancing elves. And in one of the coolest moments in the game, Asilu joins the party in the guest slot.
Hey, sick.
It's a level 99 elemental god, and it has a static ability called Fog Bank that reduces the accuracy of incoming attacks.
Thank you for including that.
Yeah. What I mean by that, though, is you can feel that it's impossibly fucking powerful, and it literally does, with its tail, generate a barrier of fog around the party.
Cool, sick. All right, let's get some sneak attack damage in this shit. Let's fucking get them.
I think it's more defensive than offensive. It's just to like, you can't really shoot us through this fog, and we're not really making shots through it either.
Disadvantage on attacks.
Yeah. We get to the battle here. Senar gets fucking bold, throws some fucking rocks with incredible accuracy at the bow users, and tells them to fuck off because we're the good guys. And you know what? If you've got the literal manifestation of this plane's night on your side, I think I'm probably not fighting against that. I think you're probably doing something right if the literal plane is on your side.
Yep.
Tam gets an arrow to the abdomen.
Oh, fuck.
Yep, that's not where those go.
Hey, wait a minute. Fog bank? What the fuck? Hey, well, it's not impossible.
I mean, they did really good for a while and nobody got hit until Tam did. And if that was not there, then that would not be the case. Mm-hmm. They would be riddled with fucking arrows. So anyway, Reese catches up. Oh, fuck, dude. He's really about to do it.
Oh?
Yeah, he's really about to kill Marilyn here. Marilyn doesn't like move to stop him at all or even plead with him until he's literally like right there in her face and within striking distance. And she's like, please, you don't understand. I'm not Una. And he does just a tiny cut, and the poison on the blade should be strong enough to finish the job. And she fucking collapses. But in that interaction, in the fact that she does in no way defend herself or offer him unimaginable riches or any of the techniques that Una would have employed to live, she was in no way becoming Una, and he should have fucking listened. Tragic. Our little shitster in this moment, seeing his sister die, basically, stops panicking and speaks for the first fucking time all story. He lands and transforms into Oko?
Yeah, what the fuck? That was like, oh, this is how we're bringing this guy back in? Okay, all right.
Yeah, immediately after that, you just fucking facepalm. Of fucking course his ass is from Lorwyn Shadowmoor. Of course. Oh man, so after this incredible fucking reveal and Oko using his voice for the first time to fucking tell that dude off like you killed my sister, Ajani shows up. There's just like this white streak across the battlefield and it's moving real quick, and he's got Kiral in his arms, and our Blorbos are almost entirely reunited. Kiral catches us up on their experiences. We learn about the Dawn Glove that they had to go and pick for the elves, and that it can be used to counteract the poison that's currently killing Marilyn. So, new quest, find that Dawn Glove.
All right.
Kiral and Sanar slip off to go find it. We know the elves have it. It's with High Perfect Morkant. We just need to find her and steal it back. They find her. High Perfect has a sword and knows how to use it. Oh, Lewin's here? And he just fucking bonks Morkant directly in her Domington, right to the head. And she just fucking drops the Dawn Glove extract. Lewin catches it, tosses it to Kiral, like, here, catch. And they rush back and try to avert the crisis.
Damn, okay, sick. That was easy.
Yeah, we did not expect that to be that easy, but Lewin's a badass on Shadowmoor, apparently. He's got really cool horns. Kiral calls Lewin Lulu, which is very cute. I'm a new Blorbo adopted for surezies.
Okay. Now.
We get to chapter 7. The last bit here. The charm dissolves apace. Erdu approaches. Erdu shows up on the horizon, and it's just real chill, galloping towards Asilu. And Abigail's here too. Oh, loud she flapping. She'll be here soon. She's with Asilu. Oko gets the Dawn Glove from Tam and Sanar, heads off to the rest of the party. They're like halfway there, and Oko just like steps out of the shadows, grabs that, and vanishes, using his planeswalking ability, no doubt. We get back there. Ajani's trying to save Tam from bleeding out. This should be easy, but shit's fucked. And that's when Oko says, "The magic of Lorwyn Shadowmoor is fed by story," said Oko. "The story we're in right now is one of death and damage and terrible sacrifice. If you want her to live, you have to save the queen." And I think that was a really cool, interesting look into the way that magic works on Lorwyn Shadowmoor. Kind of just like whatever's the most dramatic and will tell the best story will happen, apparently.
Interesting. Okay.
So we have to save the queen. Marilyn gets fed little sippies of Dawn Glove extract, and she rapidly improves. And when she's had enough of that, then Oko's like, "Okay, here, you can have this," and hands it to Ajani, and it's like, "This is practicality. Don't mistake it for me being nice." And we're just like, all right, fine. Ajani pours the like rest of the Dawn Glove extract on the wound, and condition rapidly improves. We're looking a lot better.
Fantastic.
Erdu and Asilu meet. They bow to each other, and then they play wrestle, and they're stepping around the party with exquisite care, and the ritual is beautiful, and it's probably something that you only get to see once in a lifetime. And I think we have that portrayed on a Magic the Gathering card. I do not remember the name of it.
I feel like I know the artwork of what you're talking about. Like, yeah, I'll look it up in the background. I'll see if I can find it.
Celestial Reunion. Perfect. There it is. Yeah, this shows Erdu and Asilu with their long necks embraced and the sun and moon in between them forming an eclipse. It's, the name of the set. There's also a showcase art of that by Serena Malion, one of my pretty recent faves.
Oh, sick!
Past couple of years. That also looks very cool. They are not as like intertwined in this one, but they do have a very beautiful like our foreheads are touching, our sun and moon are united. There's an eclipse, and it's just like, damn, night and day.
Actually, yeah, sorry, just tangent going over this artist's artwork, which I didn't realize that they did the Ligrella the Magpie alt art, and they did Prisoner's Dilemma, and the guest version of Ristic Study.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did the Merfolk Ristic
Damn.
Study. That's a very popular
Stargaze.
one. Artist proofs and stuff.
Okay.
Yep, she did Stargaze. She did the
And
Kindred Discovery. She did the Edge of Eternity's Darling Beyond the Quiet.
Soul Immolation Altar. Yeah, this is sick. That is that's fucking awesome.
Incredible work. If you're not a fan of Serena Malion, you need to go look up her work and become one.
Yeah. Pretty good.
All right, so bro, they are fucking dancing. These elementals, they are dancing. And then we get the explanation of Abigail's side quest. So the merfolk that she met that told her we have something that you should see, that something was Erdu. The merfolk took her to meet Erdu. It was napping somewhere and they were guarding it, and it was providing them with the protection of the sun from the ravages of night on this plane, which is very important to them. They do not want to be on Shadowmoor. Abigail described it as it interrupting their stories, which I think is a thing that merfolk have on this plane. I cannot remember exactly like cards, but they have a storied history of being... They got stories to tell.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Also, I'm just immediately thinking of it, at least in the case of the merfolk, and I don't know why I never thought about this, but like the Lorwyn merfolk are the modern in Legend of Zelda, the Zora, like the modern day Zora, versus how the Zora were in the older games where they were antagonistic and like shot fireballs at you from the water and stuff. Anyway, minor tangent aside.
Yeah, minor tangent aside. The merfolk take Abigail to meet Erdu, and Erdu smells a Silu on her and is like, oh, okay, that's where I need to go then. And so it follows her to where she got lost at that spot, and then from there she's like, okay, now it's my turn to follow you. And Erdu leads the way to Silu. We cut back to our elementals finishing their intricate ritual, and Silu gets sleepy. Erdu nuzzles them and says basically, it's time for bed. They don't use words, obviously, but like the motions and the like way that it's described, it's like, all right, buddy, head off now. And so Silu heads off through their dolmen gate and goes back to sleep and returns the cycle to order. And from here, we are chilling next to Erdu now in the same way that we were chilling next to Silu previously, and that's a fun parallel. Reese fulfilled his oath. Bro was only being kept alive by his promise to kill Marilyn, and he did that. That fucking sucked, but she's okay, she got better. So it's at this point that he's released from this magic and this life, and he turns into flower petals and is blown away on the wind. He's got a Magic the Gathering card in this set that has this moment depicted on it, and if you haven't seen that yet, obvious, go look at that.
Also, pretty cool card.
Yeah. From here, it's time to wrap this shit up. So Johnny's like, all right, let's get on out of here. Everybody into the Omen Path. There's a stable one from here that leads to Chandelar, and another one from Chandelar that goes to Arcavios, and that's how we're going to get home. Let's get moving. Do we got everyone? Is that everything? And Lewin from the Shadows? No, you forgot me.
Oh, no.
And Lewin, Orbo confirmed. He's like, hey, so I would like to go with you. I'm dead as fuck if I stay here, bro. I bonked the high perfect and helped the students. And Kiral absolutely is like, yeah, they will kill him if he stays here. Let's, do you want to go?
Do you want to enroll into school?
The place that you are going is a school. You will be expected to enroll and take classes. And Lewin's just like, fuck it, sounds good.
Awesome, sick.
So they go through the Omen Path and back to Arcavios, and the last sentence here is a whole new world. Well, not last sentence in the like thing, but of this section. A whole new world, said Kiral. Welcome to the multiverse, Lulu. And man, new Blorbos. From here, we cut to Tam getting fucking lectured by Lily, just absolutely fucking roasting her. And then Tam leaves the office. Lily sighs and rubs her temples and gets a knock on the door, one that's way fucking different than the way anybody's knocked before. So, whom's to the fuck? It's Liliana, dressed in white. And it fucking cuts there. They say they have a lot to talk about.
They landed on that
with yours, and they cut it.
So, I knew about this part for a while. I haven't read the full story, and that part, it wasn't that it was spoiled for me. Well, maybe it was spoiled. Oh, well, that's the nature of the internet. And I was like, oh no. Like, one, that is fucking cool. Two, that better be Liliana. And three, if it's not Liliana, what the fuck? Damn.
Yep.
Damn. Magic story time. What the fuck? Yeah. In terms of having the side adventures while setting up the beats for what's coming next, I will offer one last little tidbit from what I was able to glean from a side story.
Yeah.
You know, our beloved Kellen and his friend from Ixalan, what's her name?
Amalia, and they are way more than friends.
Yes, in fact, they were roommates, maybe even better, more than roommates. So I didn't read, I don't have the full story locked in my head, because I did go over it, because I was like, oh, hey, Kellen's back. What's with that? He looked in the mirror. You know who he saw?
You know, now that we know that Kellen is Oko's son, and we know that Oko is Una's son, fucking Una in that mirror, isn't it?
Yup. So, yeah. Don't know what is going on with that or how that will be tied into anything in the future, but oh boy, that's a little bit spooky, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing another card from Kellen that references either that moment or the conflict between Una becoming him and something like that. Like maybe we get a new flip card. I don't know if the next set has flip cards.
Yeah, I don't know. We are going to be heading into our return to Strixhaven, and then we will be having a Universes Beyond break. And then at some point in the future, I believe during or after the summer or something, we will be having Reality...
I think Reality Fracture.
Reality Fracture, yeah. So, yeah, we are going to be having some pretty interesting Magic story twists and turns in the near future. Having a potentially white-aligned Liliana be showing up as an alternate universe version of our current one will be very interesting, and we'll have to see what other versions will be showing up. Overall, yeah, hey, this is pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah, this was a really good time. I had a lot of fun meeting our new Blorbos. I'm excited to see what they get up to in the next set, because hopefully this is seating them as characters and establishing background and stuff for them so that they can flesh that out in the visit to Strixhaven.
Yeah. So what'll happen next? I guess we'll find out in
a couple of months.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. This episode is probably going to be the longest
session.
Shit. I think it's time to wrap it up, go eat, and call it there, huh?
Absolutely. Time for everybody to turn into a pumpkin. Tell them where they can find us online. I'm done talking.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. The Bludrick Guy, Girl Dick Energy, and HBVC-MTG. We're going to be streaming Magic on Saturdays over at MTG Lexicon. We're also doing some D&D stuff. Lenny and I are part of a Magic D&D thing that we're going to be looking into doing. Gonna find out how that goes. I'm playing an Ixalan Vampire. And And yeah, share the good word. Tell people, hey, this is a 4-hour episode of the podcast. Go fucking nuts. Hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you enjoyed our New Year's resolutions. We'll see what the fuck's gonna happen, and we'll have Steph on for next episode. So enjoy. Let's do another 4 hours, Quinn. How about that?
You're fucking wildin'. Log off.
See you next time.
Later, gamers.